The Roadie Strength Podcast is now brought to you by Perform Better. So you may know them initially from their bands, the mini bands, the loop bands, super bands. Just a really high quality rubber. They last a long time. They stretch really nicely, not like some of the cheapo ones. They're a local Rhode Island company. They're on the East Greenwich and West Warwick line, which is super cool. But they have reached national and international recognition. This company's been around for a long time. And they're just really known for having high quality gear, high quality equipment, outstanding customer service. Something breaks, they're willing to work with you, send it back, fix it, and just being really knowledgeable about their craft. They've been in the game for a long time. They do a lot of facility design, for the high schools, colleges, but they really work a lot with the pro teams, NBA, MLB, NHL, NFL. They have really good relationships with a lot of these teams. They do a lot of custom build-outs for their facilities, custom build-outs for their gyms, dumbbells, platforms, putting the custom logos in there, you name it. So some really cool stuff they're doing on that front. As far as education goes, they do a lot of courses. So whether online or in person, they have some of the top level courses in the strength and conditioning industry. And their Perform Better Summit, where you can actually go in there and listen to some of the top people in the industry and actually talk with them after the lectures, which is so cool, which you can't really get some of this online stuff. But the education, they do really, really well. And the company's just great. It's, I've met a lot of people there. They're tight-knit. They're good people. So check them out, performbetter.com, and on Instagram, @performbetter. The Roadie Strength Podcast is now brought to you by Rob Levine, the heavy hitter. We're really happy to have them jump on as a sponsor. I've personally used them this past year. My wife was in a car accident, and they were able to help us along every step of the way through getting properly compensated, making sure we weren't getting taken advantage of by the car insurance companies, and helping through with medical payments. So if you've been in a car accident, it's definitely worthwhile. Just pick up the phone and see how they can help. The Roadie Strength Podcast is now sponsored by Soul Friend Yoga. Find them online at soulfriendyoga.com, on Instagram @soulfriendyoga. They're a locally based Rhode Island company over in Bristol. They also have a beautiful online presence. You can take a look at all their apparel, all their yoga mats online. Really nice website. And their materials and quality are top notch. Me and my wife both have a yoga mat from them. My wife has a lot of their apparel, the yoga pants, the tops, the accessories. Great company, great people. Definitely check them out either in person, online. Give them a follow. Soul Friend Yoga. The Roadie Strength Podcast is brought to you by Strength and Sport Physical Therapy for all your PT, recovery, and performance needs. We help you get back on the field, back in the gym, and back to a healthy and active life. What's our 3-step process? Well, number 1, we want to diagnose the cause of the injury. Number 2, we want to make progress towards your goal. Number 3, we want to push performance and prevent it from happening again. What's our history? Well, we were founded in 2017 within a CrossFit gym, Spartan 360, in Middletown, Rhode Island, with a dream to create a PT clinic that revolves around fitness. Since then, we've expanded to 2 separate locations in Rhode Island, Portsmouth and Providence. We hope to continue to serve Rhode Island and the greater community for many years to come. Our big goal is we want to help you get back to the activities you love. What's our edge? Why are we cut above the rest? Well, we provide one-on-one attention. Every session's with a doctor of PT. This helps you get the most out of your rehab. We provide a variety of techniques, whether it's dry needling, cupping, exercise, correctives, and we base our rehab basically on the most up-to-date research, whatever is evidence-based. And we specialize in athletics. We walk the walk of fitness and sport. We have certifications including the CrossFit Level 2, the USAW, CSCS, SCS, we do bike fitting, we do running analysis, concussion rehab, dry needling. Really, we want to build a better you. To get in touch, give us a call or text 401-239-2784. You can give us an email, matt@strengthandsportpt.com. Follow us on Instagram @strengthandsport. Check us out online, www.strengthandsportpt.com.
Test run.
All right, You're good.
All right, everybody. Dr. Matt here with the Roadie Strength Podcast with my man here, Ryan Irving. So, Ryan, tell me a little bit about yourself, what you do, what's been going on.
So let's see, personal trainer by trade, change enthusiast by practice. That's my best. That's what I'm trying to do. Help people change, right? Been doing it for 15 years, man, which I can't believe. 15
getting old.
years. I know, but it's awesome. It's awesome being here, Perform Better, obviously, just seeing some of the same faces, seeing some new faces get out here. But yeah, man, like I said, I've been personal trainer for 15 years. Opened up my own spot probably like 10 years ago with the physical therapy company, as you talked about before. And then that was awesome. It was a great opportunity to just kind of introduce myself to the type of clients I would later start working with. A lot of unique cases, people with specific considerations. I always felt like we served to be the gym for people who maybe didn't have another place to go. You know what I mean? Cool. A lot of gyms exist for people already in shape, athletes, that kind of stuff. I feel like if you're broken, hurt, as long as you can get to the gym, we're the place for you. So that's kind of the niche we've carved out over the last decade or so.
Absolutely. So over the past calendar year, why don't you tell me a couple of highlights that have gone on? What has gone well for you? What was unexpected? The positives over the past year.
Okay. So as a result of some negatives in a tough spot, at a lease that didn't make sense, some employee turnover that didn't really work out, we actually changed locations, kind of out of necessity, and it really worked out super well. We moved to like a spot where we got a nice, beautiful sign and a super busy road. It's attracted a ton of people. Business has grown. Got the right staff now at the gym, so there was moments like where it felt like, how are we going to move forward from here? About almost 3 years ago, it was really a lot of big question marks, and now things are going super, super well. So yeah, I would say the new location and growth over the last year would definitely be the biggest highlight for sure.
That's awesome. Good to hear.
Thanks.
Same time. Now, within the strength world, as you said, you've been in the strength world for 15 years. Okay, so you've seen some trends. You've seen some different things that are going on.
Definitely.
What are the trends that you have liked the most over the last year?
Let's see. So I think personally, the move towards like group training from personal training has been a big one. I still do some personal training, but there was a point in time where I never thought group was something that we would do. I felt like people came to me for that sort of personalized, intimate experience, and they never wanted to share that space with anybody else.
Totally.
And actually it was here, probably, 8 years ago or so, where I saw the writing on the wall, and that was a necessity to make that transition. And it's been the best thing we could have possibly done because of the community that's been created from that. And that's what keeps people coming back. It's so much bigger than me now. It's bigger than, my trainers play a huge role in that and the energy and the culture that they create. But the people attract more people, and it's the most beautiful thing. So
that's awesome.
That's been a big one.
Cool.
Yeah.
Totally cool.
Yeah.
Last question for you. Being a native Rhode Islander, okay, what's your favorite part of Providence? And second question, what's your favorite part of coming to the Perform Better Summit?
Providence. But not Rhode Island. There's so many beautiful places. Providence.
We're here. You're here. We're here in Providence. You got to give at least one positive for this fine city.
All right, Providence. Water fires are pretty cool. I'll give it that. Tourist trap, but it's a cool spot.
Love that.
All right. And my favorite part of Perform Better, every year is different, but it's such, no matter where I've been at in my career, right? When you first come, you're like trying to learn some techniques, you're trying to learn some new things to bring back to your clients and become better as a trainer. And, at this point, as a business owner, a totally different skill set required to be successful. And there's something for everybody here always. And no matter what level I've been at, I feel like after every one, I leave feeling invigorated and motivated with actual things that I can implement into my business right away and see results. So it isn't just fluff of like, oh yeah, I'm so excited to go train, and like Monday I'm excited, Wednesday it's cool, Friday I forget what I did. It's like, nope, there's new things that we can actually employ, and we can see improvements based on those things. And it's like, it's awesome. It's awesome to come here with a team, so some of my employees can come back and be like, oh, this is what I learned, and we can grow together. But Perform Better is always bringing awesome people to the stage, like great actionables. It's such a cool event, and I'm super lucky to have it here. So my favorite part about Providence, this is here, and I don't have to travel far. It took me 10 minutes to get here this morning. Let's go.
I love that. Let's go. Yeah, us Rhode Islanders always got to have that short commute.
Exactly.
Well, thank you, Ryan, for
man.
coming on the podcast here, kind of answering a few questions. If you're in the area, check out Irv Fit. You're located down in
Jefferson Boulevard in Warwick.
Beautiful. Check them out. Great concept, great guy. Can't go wrong.
Awesome, man. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. Hey, not bad for a spontaneous episode.
Yeah, not bad.
Appreciate it, man. That's cool.
That was awesome.
What do you got? How many follow you got?
Sweet. Good stuff. All right. Come on, man. All right, we are live.
All right.
What's going on, man? We are here at the Roadie Strength Podcast. Just tell us a little bit about what you do at Perform Better.
I am a facility design specialist. I do pretty much all the drawings for the 3D renderings of all the spaces to show people what they can't fit, the best flow, and just to see their space before it's even made.
Very cool. And say your name real quick.
I'm Josh Harrison.
Sorry, I should have started with that one. So you're doing the facility design there, and you've had different projects, and I know you've been talking to people today, and very cool with the TV screen here. I saw like UMass Lowell, the hockey weight room.
Yep.
I know I've seen on some of these plates you got the Miami Dolphins.
Yep, we did that one a few years back. We've done a few for them. Yeah.
Very cool. Patriots.
Yep, that one just got done. They just posted that too. They on Instagram. They have videos of the space, and that's been a few years in the making. That was a cool project.
Yeah, and that one, like I that's where I saw it on Instagram too, and I've seen some of your plates with the logos embroidered, or not embroidered, but what would you call it? How you stamp them on the plates? Like
yeah, it's like embossed or something.
Okay, yeah. So you have some of the plates here for that as well, and so I knew you guys had some affiliation with them, but the Patriots Day, when I saw it for the New Balance Arena, it looks unbelievable.
It's gorgeous, yeah.
It looks unbelievable.
Yeah.
So that was a few years in the making?
Yeah, so like with most places, everything is different. Like every person, strength coach has different, methods to their madness, So originally when we started, it was with a different team, coaches and everything. They had their one mindset that we worked on for a little bit, and then rotation of the coaches, and completely different training methods there. So we started from scratch, and just a lot of like really dialing in, getting the customization of everything, location, making sure they had the proper amount of space between walking paths, or they really knew down to like the inch of what they wanted. So we were trying, making sure that everything fit what they needed, how the players were going to be moved throughout the place, and it was just a fun process, and kind of cool seeing that from them, because everyone's different, and they knew what they wanted, like from the get-go down to the inch. So it was really cool.
So is that a involvement of like the coach, the players, strength and conditioning staff, like GM, like who are those? Who are you working with it?
Mainly the strength coaches.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously the players do are working under their tutelage, so they know, So sometimes for this, I don't think there was any, general manager, owner, anything like that involved. Sure. Sometimes there is. Sometimes.
Sure.
Sometimes the people with the money want to make some decisions, So, right. But for this one, it was the strength coaches. They knew what they wanted, how to best train their players. So this one was straight through them.
Was there anything unique about this facility compared to like some of the other ones you've worked in the past?
Yes, in the sense that it was kind of still, because it was still in the process, we could make changes based on how certain things were fitting. So like they have a cardio deck. At first the architects wanted it, a little bit larger, but then we thought maybe if we back it up a little bit, then the cardio can be looking down, not just over because they have these gorgeous windows, that look out into the field. But also, instead of the cardio deck looking out to that, they can kind of look down and open up the first floor a little bit too. So cool. Like the half racks don't have a ceiling above it, just wide open and everything. So
sure.
It was cool seeing that along the ways to be able to manipulate like the actual blueprint, so to speak.
That's
and
really
make
cool.
Little changes like that.
Very cool. I think I saw from the Instagram too. Did they redesign some of like the food halls and stuff like that as well? Did you see any piece of that?
No, I didn't see that aspect of it. Yeah.
Different person working on that.
Yeah.
That piece of it. Yeah. And as far as the build up for that, so you guys did was the building itself? Was there any design structure changes to the actual like building too? Do you know, or
not from our point of view?
Okay.
No.
Yeah.
That's straight from them. I mean, yes, we like I said, the way the stairs to the cardio deck, that we did mention some stuff because of how it originally was.
Yeah.
Who didn't? I mean, they might have had those changes in mind anyways,
sure,
but it was just like it would help if we shifted this over, and but overall it was like the blueprints and the actual architectural structures and designs is straight through them.
That's cool. And when you're working with the strength and conditioning guys over there, are you kind of like going back and forth on like, hey, how about this design? How about that design? And or is it kind of like, all right, here's the master plan. What do you guys think?
It started with a lot of times too, like we'll throw a bunch of stuff in based off of what their wish list is. I mean, we have to touch upon like the big ticket items like the half racks and platform and turf. So we start with that, and then we literally get on a call and I share my screen.
Yeah.
And pretty much walk them through the space and say, what do you need? Is this working? What's not working? where would you like this to go? Do you have any other, like, whether it's bikes that you want added or dumbbells in a certain area where you're going to do your cable machine, you know?
Right.
So it's basically walking through the space with them on my computer screen and just going from there, moving things and adapting to, like, maybe new equipment that they wanted to add. So it's
Very
definitely hands-on from both sides of us.
Very cool. Very cool. And like you said, like, trying to satisfy their wish list. So there might be, like, might want, like, I don't know, maybe a certain amount of, like, X amount of, like, squat racks. Be like, well, we can only fit maybe this much in this area or something like that.
Yeah, we did come in at, like, because they did want originally, like, just a whole line of them all attached, like maybe 10, I don't know.
Yeah.
But then again, on the front, they have those windows, but they also have doors going out to the field.
Yeah.
So we wanted a nice, clear path for them to come out. So we removed one rack in the middle just to open up, like, an 8-foot section. So
Sure.
we had to adapt to that. But yeah, a lot of times it's just spacing is key. So it's always figuring out what the best walking path is, what's safe, and just how to. I mean, yes, we want to fit as much as we can in there, but we also want it to be, we want usable space too for movement and other exercises.
Gotcha. And is there certain, like, guidelines saying, like, hey, the squat racks have to be, like, this far apart, or are you kind of, like, allowing some, like, wiggle room there?
There's guidelines by me that I set for safety reasons.
Fair. Because you've seen them, you're like, yeah, there needs to be a little more space there. Yeah.
I mean, because it's like a lot of people, when it comes, like, I get this a lot with not with, like, professional teams, because I understand, but a lot of maybe home gyms or smaller businesses, they see, like, the dimensions of a half rack, and they see it like, oh, it's 4 foot wide, cool,
Sure.
so I can fit this many. But then it's like, well, no, you have to accommodate the 7-foot bar that's on it.
Right.
You have to accommodate a couple feet on either side of the bars to put plates on safely.
Right.
So now you're at 11 feet. So so they're thinking, oh, I can fit, it's a 12-foot space. They're 4 feet. I can fit 3. It's like,
right.
Nope, you can fit 1.
Right. Right.
So it's definitely to some of the customers, some of the people, it's a learning curve for them, because they don't think about it that way. But for me, it's like, I need to focus on, what's safe. Like, how can you safely get the bars off the back, put them on the bar, the plates off onto the bar, and then, so you're not bumping into the next person behind you who's might be doing the same thing at the same time.
Right.
So I have to think a lot about that. But I have my, dimensions set on my program that I know what to use every single time, what the minimum is, and I go from there.
That's really cool. So I think that's one of the unknown things that a lot of people, like the consumer base, doesn't really know about Perform Better, is like how much facility design outfitting that you guys do.
Oh, yeah.
So like we mentioned the New England Patriots already. We mentioned the Miami Dolphins.
You just said University of Michigan, which was a huge one.
That's cool.
That was cool. Very customized. Everything was customized, and that was a fun one.
Was that recently too?
Yes. That was. I feel like we installed that a few weeks back.
Oh, wow.
That was another project where it just, big open space, but just with, like, in the flooring we did, like, custom mottos. We did logos.
Cool.
All the racks were all customized colors, and it was that was a fun one too.
Did they have a big space? I'm
Huge
sure.
space. Yeah.
I'm
yeah.
sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Some of those college teams, I feel like, may have more money to play with than some of the pro teams even.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No.
Exactly.
Yep. Oh, 100%. No, they had, like, a huge turf ramp going up to the second level, and then a turf strip there.
For like hill sprints.
Yeah.
Like indoor hill sprints.
They have the hill sprints, but then next to it they also have a turf, like, steps going up too.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a really cool space.
Oh,
yeah.
it's state of the art, truly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. And on that line, like, have you seen stuff like that where you're like, all right, we can get creative with something like this? Like, this is something new that we haven't really done before, or?
We have one. I always think back to when we did the Dolphins one, as they have so they have the main open gym area, turf area, then up top they have almost like a administration workout area, but some people also work out. And there's a slide that goes down from there down to the turf.
Wait, what?
Yeah, so they have a slide and yeah.
So if you're a player, like, you want to get down to the first floor, you can hop on the slide to go down.
You go down and it lands, like, around the turf, and then you're on the turf under there. Yeah.
No way.
Yeah,
Did the players use it?
That I don't know. That part I don't know. I hope so.
That is pretty freaking cool.
Yeah, I hope they use it. But that was probably one of the more interesting ones I've done, but it was cool. It was unique. At first, when I heard it, I'm like, a slide? And I put it, I'm like, oh, that's kind of creative. I like that.
So,
something different.
So on your end, when you're putting some of the, do you ever go out and get to see some of these facilities, or are you just all way on the back end, like, designing them?
I've seen a few. Like,
Cool.
I mean, I've been to local ones.
Yeah.
Where like sometimes I have to go I've been myself to like. Some people don't normally like for us to start. We need blueprint dimensions.
Sure.
So sometimes people don't have that,
Yeah.
or they don't have. I don't know if they don't have time or whatever. But I'll go out to a space, check out, and I'll measure it myself. We'll have salespeople that go out to their customers.
Yeah.
Tape them, paste paper. This is 10. Measure
Yeah,
everything out
yeah.
to get to me. So so I've seen some places in person, gone out, and then afterwards we may go check it out and walk it. But I mean, luckily now most people are posting their spaces on social media, so I get to see it that way too.
Right. You can see the finished product.
Yeah, which is always cool to see.
So bring me through kind of like the timeline. So let's say that you're a school, or maybe so you guys work with like your schools, pro teams, and then like private gyms too. Sometimes,
Anybody.
yeah.
And like, I mean, if you're like, oh, I want to do a gym in my basement, it's like,
Yeah.
okay, we'll help you design it. Yeah, so we even do just like anything.
So if I'm like the timeline of being like, let's say maybe I'm a school and I'm like, hey, like, let's I don't know, URI for example. You guys work with URI?
Yes, we do their gym. Yep.
So let's say like I'm URI, or another school. I'm like, hey, like, our weight room needs to be updated. Let's call Perform Better. Is that like kind of the first step? They hop on the phone, like give you guys a call, and then
Yeah.
And then what's the next step after that?
Depends on like if we're like URI we already did. So if they're updating it, we already have in the system, so it's a little bit easier just going and doing stuff. But for like newer ones, it's getting the blueprint dimensions, the actual space, and learning a little bit about the training methods, what they're looking for, their wish list, and just to pick their brain to see like what their vision is for the space. And then from there, I draw. I get the blueprint. I make it 3-dimensional. I bring in the equipment that we've talked about, just to, because some people will be like, oh, I want 5 of these, 6 of these, whatever. And sometimes like you're getting 3 of these, 2. So it's mainly figuring out what they can fit, what the best flow is, and then it's a back and forth, like to dial it in for them. Like I said, I'll share my screen. We'll be on a call, and I'll move stuff around. And I mean that within depends on the size of it, but it's like under a week. They'll get the whole 3D rendered images back of their space, and then from there it gets to the nitty gritty of like, do you want plates with logos on it? Do you want turf that have hash marks? Do you want all these? And I mean, obviously,
which is super cool.
Which is cool, but then each thing like that adds a little bit to it. Lead time.
Sure.
So it's,
how much customization do you want? Like,
So the actual process of getting the design and getting it to where you want it, relatively quick, a week or so, depending on how picky you are about stuff, how specific you are, or if you're just like, if it's like a home gym, like for your basement where it's like you probably don't really care that much about it, or a garage and I'm throwing in a half rack cardio piece and everything, that's like quick, couple days, you have it, and then you're already, now it's the lead time of, what product you're getting. If you're getting a logo on it, that adds a couple weeks. So it's that part fluctuates. But the actual design part is relatively quick.
Cool. And then after you're like, all right, this is finalized, it looks good, and then basically the stuff starts to get shipped out to the warehouse or custom made or whatever.
Yeah.
And then the guys will, let's say it's like in California, the guys are like coming in on trucks and just like from Providence and bringing it out there. Or?
We could, but I mean, we can also. Some items you could ship, because I mean, most of the stuff is shipped to us anyways, so I mean, they're in the boxes, so we could just ship it. I mean, it really depends on the location of it,
Sure.
And then we just set in our calendar, like, all right, we'll have, depending on if they need their, if they're getting flooring, if they need their floor ripped up, if they need so we do have when we're doing flooring, we'll have some
contractor.
Well, we have people on site,
cool.
But we also have others, but we'll have them go and walk the space just to make sure if they need any. If there's a divot in the floor they need to fix, because we want a smooth, flat floor. So we have to inspect that, and then we'll go from there to see, all right, we'll set up 3 days for the flooring installation. Then after that, we'll do the equipment, or if people want the equipment first because they can't, they have a certain timeline, and the flooring's going to take a little bit more because it's custom, this, that.
Right.
We'll have people go out, we'll install the flooring. And then we'll have them come back out, move the floor, or install the equipment. Then we'll have them come back, move the equipment, do the flooring, and so it's
fair. Yeah.
Each person is different, but it's just what fits their deadline.
Yep.
And what fits our schedule mostly.
Gotcha. Cool. And you guys are doing stuff overseas now, or you have been.
We
yeah.
have done.
Yeah, you have been. Yeah, that's cool.
That logistics I do not know because that
it adds a whole other element.
Oh yeah, but no, we have done some stuff overseas.
Takes team.
Yeah, like we did a was it the Dolphins? When the NFL where they did a overseas
like the England
tour.
game, maybe.
They had like
in London.
Yeah, they had some overseas or Germany. Maybe.
Germany, yeah.
So we had to do like send equipment over there and design we had to do like temporary spaces that were pretty big, you know. So
Sure, yeah.
And they just made it was like built up just for those like practices, you know, those games and everything for them to practice and work out. And yeah, that was an interesting one, just to do that one, just for that,
Just
and
for that one event.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
yeah.
Awesome. Well, I'll leave you with this. As far as Perform Better, as far as the summit, what's your favorite thing about it?
It's funny seeing like some people who still don't know that we do a lot of these facilities. You know, like the home gyms. They're like, "Oh, do you do this?" They're like, "Oh yeah, we do this, all of this." And they're like, "Oh wow," you know, like a one-stop shop for everything.
Yeah.
And like people learning that and seeing like, "Oh, all right, that's easier than I thought." Because I mean, when you think about getting a gym, it's always a daunting task. It's so much to it, but it's like we'll help you, do it all through the way.
We'll do the whole thing.
We do the flooring for you. We do the install for you. We'll just show you what it looks like, and we'll install it for So,
yeah, one-stop shop.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Have you guys done? I'm sure more so like High Rocks equipment or center equipment that you guys are doing.
Oh yeah,
now?
More and more. Yeah, I've done quite a few of those, and
Cool.
also like a lot more gyms are looking to, include those like areas in it, and so learning about that is fun because it's definitely a different thing. Because I mean, the specifics of the turf and all the workouts that need to be in a certain. Because I mean, it's a learning experience, but it's fun to learn. Especially since I've been doing a lot of the same stuff so this is kind of something new,
something
new territory.
New.
Yeah. So we've done that for even some home gyms. They just want to, just the turf strip to be able to do that, and also scaling it because every gym's a different size. So it's like you have to accommodate the spacing with like 2 people are doing this versus 20 people are doing this. And we've had some actual events that I've actually helped design, like the whole flow of the entire turn, the
simulation.
Yeah. And that was cool because it's like you have to. Those are a little more like you have to put more thought into it because now you have the rock zone. You have to figure out that, and then where the laps are going and the entrance to each. So like one of them I did, it was some of them were in a different room, so you have to accommodate them going through the door. So it's definitely each space will be different.
Right.
So learning that and going along with that has been fun.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Sweet. Awesome. Well, thank you so much, man.
No, thank you.
Great to have you on.
Yep.
And we'll talk again soon.
All right. Thanks.
Sweet.
All right, Dr. Matt here with Brody Strength Podcast, sitting here with my man, Kerry Taylor, out of 212 Performance. So, Kerry, if you don't mind, give us a little background. Tell us about yourself.
Kerry Taylor, as you said, I am the owner of 212 Health and Performance right in Rumford, Rhode Island. We just turned 17 years old.
Congrats.
Thank you. I've been in the industry for about 25 years. I got into this because I was a kid who grew up in the city of Boston, and I ended up moving out to the suburbs, and skinny kid, one of the few black kids in town. They thought I was going to be this great basketball player, athlete. Little did they know I wasn't that great at all. And but I tried out for football, and I really enjoyed it, and I committed myself to the weight room. And then being in the weight room allowed me to get bigger, faster, stronger, earned my way into college on a full scholarship to play football, and then was able to get to the pro level and have a pro career. And one of the things I truly enjoyed was being in the gym because it also afforded so much of my life. And so I ended up opening the gym and been loving it ever since.
That's awesome. Awesome. So I saw that you just did hands-on lab today with the Perform Better Summit. Do you mind give us a little background what went on in the hands-on?
So today's topic was the kettlebell workshop. It's something that we do with every client that decides to come to 212. We do an orientation, we do a workshop to teach them how to use the kettlebell with all the basics that come with it. That's the swing, clean, squat, press, windmill, overhead squat, and the Turkish get-up. And our goal is to introduce them to that. And today was taking all the coaches through that to get them to understand what the experience should be like, what are the things to look for. Not that things have to be perfect. You want to get it to a satisfactory level so you feel comfortable with them holding a kettlebell in their hand, doing the basic movements, and how that plays a role in how you take care of somebody on their fitness journey, because they've decided to say, I have a problem. I've decided you're going to be the person to help me. Your job is to say, okay, let's do what we need to do to build you up. And this is one of the tools, not the only tool, but one of the tools we're going to use to get there. And you just want to make sure they have fun with it, they understand it, and make the adjustments, because everybody's body is different. Where does the kettlebell fit in their fitness journey, whether they're a bodybuilder or a power lifter or someone just wants to get in shape? Whatever it is, it fits in there somewhere, but how am I going to fit it into their journey?
That's awesome. That's very cool. So as you said, 212 celebrated 17 years.
Yes, sir.
Which is an incredible amount of time that you've been in this whole situation. So in those 17 years, let's take the last one. What are some highs that you've experienced with 212 in the last year?
Just bringing on some new teammates to the gym, meeting some new people, obviously bringing on new members, and just being able to impact and change people's lives. We've been, I don't know if it's weirdly, but in a sense, attracting more of the older population, 60, 70, 80-year-olds.
Very cool.
Which is great, because they are typically looked at as the people that need to do silver sneakers or go walk on the treadmill, or, I'm just going to go walk, or I'm going to go swim. And when you walk into my gym, it's no machines. You have kettlebells, dumbbells, barbells, sleds, all those things. And you have 80-year-olds, 70-year-olds doing those movements with kettlebells or barbells or whatever it is, but you wouldn't picture that demographic being in the gym. And I love the fact that over those 17 years, we were able to build up our reputation in our area to say, okay, this gym isn't typical gym, but I know these people can help me and they'll take care of me even at my age. So that is a huge highlight, where people may look at that as a negative, but I think that's great, because those people want to add longevity to their life, We had a guy that had 3 heart attacks, and he came to the gym after his third, and his wife told me that, you're going to help my husband. I said, okay. And he, in our industry, obviously, we know everybody said, I want to train with you, I want to work with you. And that sometimes happens, sometimes it doesn't. I didn't think he would show up. He showed up. And it started with 5 minutes of moving around, to a point where eventually he's pushing the sled, he's trap bar deadlifting, he's clean and pressing a barbell, he's bringing his grandkids in to say, look what I can do, I want you to do it. And, and he's having his grandkids do it. So now I've taken a guy who was a Marine, turned into an alcoholic, became sober, 3 heart attacks. You would say he doesn't need to be in the gym. He decided that's not the case. And I like to believe we added longevity to his life. For sure. But he took that and passed it down to his grandkids. And now it's a part of his grandkids' lives, so the journey and the cycle continues. So I just love just helping and training people, and something small that we sometimes can take for granted can impact people's lives physically, but also mentally.
Yeah, that's huge. So that segues right into the next question. 25 years in the business.
Yes.
You've seen a lot of things come. You've seen a lot of things go.
Yes.
So what are some trends that you've actually liked over the last, let's say, 5 years?
That's a good question. I have liked people more so now promoting small group training. I think the community is a big, important thing for a gym and a facility for our lifestyle. It's easy to go in the gym, put headphones on, and do that, but I just met with a lady the other day. She wants to be a part of a community, and when you're a part of a community, what happens there? It allows you to say, okay, I need to get up because I want to see John or I want to see Jill or whoever it is. So I think the influx of more places starting to do small group training is a great addition to what we're doing. Yes, the big training, big classes do have a place in it, but I think the smaller settings where you can really get more intimate and get to know each other plays a huge role in what we do. I think that's a great thing.
For sure. Okay, and last most fun question.
Yes.
Being a native Rhode Islander like you are, I know you did say Boston is where you grew up, but you've been here for the majority of your life now. What is your favorite thing about Providence, and what is your favorite thing about the Perform Better Summit?
Favorite thing about Providence or being in Rhode Island is you're close to the water. I love seafood, so I can get seafood pretty much anywhere. Where you have friends that are gridlocked in the Midwest or something, and they've had seafood, but they haven't had real seafood.
Yeah, they haven't had the real deal.
Exactly. So, being able to just hop in the car or go for a walk and have access to real seafood is great. I love it. And Perform Better, I started coming to these years and years ago, and I feel they always put on great education, and they're willing to help our industry grow and make sure they give what they can give to allow us as coaches be better coaches. It's not just about equipment, it's more about the education, which then helps use the equipment. So we're going to sell you equipment, but we're also going to make sure you know how to use it the right way. And the team for Perform Better, they're great people. I've known a lot of them for a very long time. They used to come to 212 a ton and work out. They're just overall great people, willing to help out anybody they can to make you be successful as a coach, but also just to make sure that you're doing well in life.
That's awesome. All right. Thank you so much, Kerry.
Thank you for having me.
Come check out 212 when you get a chance. Ask for my man, Kerry, here. Great having you on the pod.
Thank you.
Can't wait to see you again.
All right. Appreciate it.
Sweet. All right, what's going on, guys? Dr. Matt here, host of the Rock Slab podcast. We're here with Eric today, owner of Perform Better. So,
hey, Matt.
so thanks for jumping on.
Oh, glad to sit here with you.
So I know we were talking a little bit off air about kind of like the beginnings and the story behind Perform Better. So can you give us a little insight on how the company was started?
Sure. Most people don't know who I am because I'm in the background. But the company was started originally. We had our company, I'll say, and being an Army, my mother and father started the company in 1960. My dad was a track coach and was selling track and field equipment, which we still do in our MF Athletic, everything track and field side of the company. And I oversee both sides, and that's why people don't see me at events as much, other than things like this, like the summit and so forth. But at a certain point, people started to train differently. Around 1990, it started to be a push to training, and that was a time when even professional baseball, just started doing things like weights, or more work with weights. They might have done some before, but a lot of times it was shunned during the season, especially, blah, blah, blah. So Vern Gambetta was, coming onto the scene, and he had a track background. So my dad, with his track background, said, everyone's training like we do in track and field, because what do you do in track? You make athletes. They have to run, they have to jump, they have to throw,
Right.
or one or more. And so it's natural to build athletes, and that's what the other sports finally figured out, that you're going to do that. Not to say they weren't doing weightlifting and
Sure.
things, but these things go way back, including plyometrics and et cetera, go way back. Anyway, so we branched off at the time into the Perform Better world and started selling things that we knew they could use, and expanded it over time. And Chris Poirier joined us soon afterwards, and rose through the ranks from shipping in the warehouse, doing work with shipping and receiving, on to products and so forth. Now he's been the general manager of Perform Better for years, and does a wonderful job. And I let Chris run with it there, and I oversee things. And we have a general manager on our track and field side, and Bubba Peterson, who's also great. And that's really how we got to where we are. Was my dad, my mom, my sister, and I, when I got out of school in '84, out of college, and it was us and one other
Wow.
and then slowly grew the company. My mom said, "I'm retiring." We were around, and here we are.
That's cool. And it's cool to me also that this is a Rhode Island-based company, because you don't see a lot of, big business, especially like sports and fitness business in Rhode Island. Like you see maybe other companies like across usually overseas, but not a lot of stuff is like, hey, this is U.S.-based fitness related or specifically Rhode Island related. So really cool to us that like, hey, we're in Providence now. Like this is in our, you guys are basically in Providence, like in our
Right.
back doorstep. So how did I guess a question for you as far as like the locality of it. How did it come to be that the Rhode Island was the headquarters, and was there any decision that you're like, no, we want to stay here and not going anywhere else?
Yeah, purely because that's my dad and my dad. We're in Providence. My dad grew up in Providence.
Okay.
My mom was from Newton, so she was an import.
Okay.
All the way from there, but spent more years in Rhode Island than she did in Massachusetts. So my dad was here. He coached right here at Hope High School.
Oh, no way.
He went to Hope High School.
You were just talking off air that Grace and Katie ran around the track at Hope High School today, I think. They
Exactly.
said, yeah.
Which, it's funny, I didn't mention to him, there was a plaque. I didn't think of it as a plaque there, and it's dedicated to 3 people, one of which is my dad.
No way.
Yeah.
That is cool. That's
multi-
very full circle.
Yeah, multiple state championships they won and champions there at Hope, and so he coached there. Then he went out to the University of Rhode Island.
Yep.
And when he started the company, he was coaching and doing the business. My mom would kind of run it during the day. My dad would come later on and work into the night, which started with a product which is called a heel protector. It's a plastic heel cup.
Okay.
You put people who have heel pain, heel injuries, lower leg, and he actually came up with that while at Hope High School because he had athletes, hurdlers, jumpers, who were just banging all the time on back then the surfaces. There weren't urethane tracks yet, so he wanted to come up with a way they could continue to train or compete or prevent injury. And that was the first product.
Wow.
And then started slowly getting other track products because he needed them.
Sure.
And people said, "Hey, can you get me something?" You got something. Actually, I don't want to go on too long, but he picked up, although there's a train station that used to be right next door here.
Is it Track 15 now?
Correct.
That's funny. We went there for lunch yesterday.
Okay. And that's why it's called Track 15.
Right.
That was the old train station. And I'm going to guess either it was Track 15 or there was 14 tracks and they added one more for this. In any case, they moved it up the hill. And my dad would have to go down to the train to pick up something. And he got some javelins, I think, shipped from somewhere once. That's how you got things. And and then so other people said, "Hey, can you get me something?"
Yeah.
And this became a business. So we stayed in Rhode Island because we're here and grew from there. And I grew up here and just never thought of leaving. We love the state. And
that's very cool.
No reason to go anywhere else.
That's awesome. I love that. And then talk to me because you guys have run the summits here for a long time, and Providence has always been the HQ, the big summit. What do the summits mean to you guys at Perform Better?
Well, I was talking to someone earlier, and it was their first summit.
Yeah.
And I've been coming to them for a long time. We originally started in a hotel in Warwick. It was much smaller when it got going, but it's something nice about it. Beyond what it brings. Forgetting a business standpoint.
Sure.
Everybody's here for the same reason.
Yeah.
I always refer to it as a love fest.
Yeah.
Everyone's hugging each other and just happy to see you. And you might be once a year, and it's nice. It just rekindles friendships and so forth. So I think it's we enjoy doing it.
100%.
Because of that.
That's very cool. I love that. And that's kind of the same sentiment that I've gotten from everybody I've asked that same question is like, it's a community, it's collaboration, it's getting to talk to people that you wouldn't normally talk to in the similar fields that are doing the same thing. Like, you don't get that very often. So that's very cool. As far as looking forward into the future, anything you're excited about, maybe in the fitness industry or with the summits or maybe with Perform Better?
Well, there's always something exciting in that world.
Yeah.
I think of late, certainly the High Rocks has been really interesting, and how it's taken different people in and got an interest. So I think that's great.
Yeah.
Get more people interested. I mean, I work out regularly, but I don't know if I'm quite ready for that yet. But
Long-term goal,
yeah,
medium-term goal, maybe.
at 64, I don't know. Long-term goals, you got to make them a little more succinct.
Sure.
But anyway, I'm not that. 64 is not old.
No.
But nonetheless, I can hop and jump, but I'm not ready for the competitions. I think those days are over for me.
Fair enough.
But anyway, yeah, there's a lot of exciting things and just in new developments in fitness. I think the community of fitness is great. The participation, seeing the numbers come back up after COVID.
Totally.
People are fit. People are seemingly, young people seem to be caring more about fitness than they do about drinking alcohol.
Yeah, especially the Gen Zers. It's you're seeing less and less of that.
Yeah.
And more still looking for things to participate in, which fitness a lot of times is a good fill over that void.
Absolutely, yeah, it's a great fill that void. Absolutely, it's a healthy hobby.
Funny enough, you mentioned that tonight there's a run club. So run clubs are big right now as well. They're doing a rave tonight at Track 15.
Oh, really?
A run club, like sober rave type thing. So people are looking for stuff like that.
Isn't Narragansett Beers Run Club, is it?
No, it's a different one. That one's good too.
Shout out to Gansett.
Yeah. Have you done that one?
No, I don't run enough.
No.
My days of that I do some, but
Sure.
not to be in the group. I'd love to. But
yeah, they're great there too. I know some of those guys, but
yeah, they get a good group.
Yeah, and that's really been blowing up recently too. But cool, awesome. Well, hey, thank you so much for being on. Crushed it, and shout out Perform Better.
Thank you. Appreciate the time.
You got it.
Hi, I'm Dr. Matt here with Brody Strength Podcast, sitting with my new friend Allie.
Hi.
Allie, why don't you give me a little background? 5-minute elevator speech here. Tell me something about yourself.
I'm Allie Gilbert. Who am I talking to, by the way? You or the camera?
Both.
Doesn't matter. Okay.
Yeah.
My name's Allie, as you know. I am known as the Queen of Men's Health.
That's
so
awesome.
That is my jam. Basically, I run a remote coaching business for high-performing men over 40.
That's very cool. I saw that you just finished up speaking here at the summit.
Mm-hmm.
Can you give us a little background on what you spoke on?
I spoke on basically how you coach men over 40 high performers, because there is like an art and science in the way that you talk to them, their expectations, the minimal effective dose of literally everything, training, nutrition, blood work, all that stuff. Because when guys come in having 11 billion things on their plate, you don't want to add to that. And so what we do is take things away and just start with the one thing that is the most important to correct, if there's anything to correct. But we basically integrate blood work, training, nutrition, all that stuff, because these guys have a collection of experts that don't talk to each other. And they have a guy for everything. They have a tax guy, a car guy, a wine guy, a guy who manages the guys, but known for the body.
Got it.
So the body is the last asset. They manage themselves. We become the COO of their health.
That's very interesting.
So it was our system and how we do what we do. And sorry, my hair is like in my face.
Totally fine. So have you been coming to the Perform Better conference / summit for a while, or is this newer for you?
Well, my first one was in 2004.
Okay. So a bit.
Yeah, for a long time. I graduated from Springfield College in 2003.
Cool.
So right
Very
out of
cool.
college, I was like, I need to go to these events. I think almost every single year, because I used to live in Connecticut. I live in Florida now.
Yep.
Driving up here was like the event of the summer, because we all know, like, I would say none of us have friends, but many of us who now work remotely do not have friends locally as much. So when you've been in this industry for a long time, you develop friends in the industry. So I would consider Perform Better as like family, basically.
Got it.
So a lot of my closest, best friends I've met here.
Cool.
So I only see them once a year, really, at events.
Fair. At summits.
Yeah.
To piggyback off of what you just said, being in the industry for a long time, I'm sure you've seen a ton of trends, especially in the remote world. Can you give us a little insight on some of the trends that you have liked or maybe even disliked?
Oh man, trends. I'm trying to think of like what's the most obnoxious one to you?
I would say currently, the science-based lifters.
Yeah, that's what I was like, what direction do we go with that? Because the problem with that, those arguments don't help the client.
Fair.
So it's similar to, I talked about today how we literally are very much realists with our clients. Like, I am not somebody who will say, Matt, you have to prep 9 Tupperware meals and bring them everywhere with you to every single meeting. Because every single one of our executives would fire us. We're like, yo, go get a Core Power at the gas station, get this off Instacart, blah, blah, blah. It's all about convenience and accessibility. I don't say like, yeah, the only ground beef you could have needs to be blessed by a monk and shipped in from Nepal and gone through red light therapy and like all that bullshit. Like,
Fair.
No. Like organic or whatever, grass-fed, like we all know it's bullshit unless you know the farmer and all of that stuff. So creating barriers only makes things more complicated for people.
Fair.
So we have guys that have come to us. They're like, I see how realistic you are, and that works with my schedule. So I'm going to work with you guys.
That's very cool. That's very good. I like how you were saying it's very individualized and very client-centered, which is what makes the key to success.
Yeah, we do concierge coaching, we call it. We have a level called concierge coaching, which is our flagship program. That is typically like very high touch. We have to pivot, operate in real time because we have guys that are like, hey, I'm wheels up at 3 p.m., like randomly. Cool. Where are you going? Cool. Was the gym okay? Do we have to modify the program with the gym equipment that's there? Because they don't want to have to think. They just want to walk into the gym, open their phone, do what they're told. If they have to like think and substitute and all that stuff, then it's a problem.
Completely understand that.
Yeah.
So since you've been coming here for a while and you were a native Connecticut, Connecticutan.
Connecticution, apparently it's called.
Fair enough. Did not know that. What is your favorite part of Providence? Or a thing about Providence?
The summit, because there's nothing.
Okay.
I mean, I went to soccer camp at Brown like the summer before college.
Fair
and
enough.
Like it wasn't really that much more exciting than it is around here when we come for the summit. But
fair enough.
I can't credibly say there's nothing exciting because I haven't really explored Providence.
Okay.
So I only, in my 20s, every night was a blur with the Perform Better crowd because we would all drink to, as much as we could. I'm too old for that now.
Fair enough.
So now I really don't leave the hotel.
Got it. And last question, what is your favorite part of the Perform Better Summit?
Definitely the people and the networking and the relationships that you build. Like I said, I met like my closest friends who I consider family here. I've been speaking for them for 10 years now. So, meeting new coaches every year, like I would say like from when I started coming, same with any other organization, like there was not a lot of females and I've never really put an emphasis on females. And I'm talking about attendees, not speakers, because there's people that complain there's not enough female speakers and that's a whole other topic, but more attendees, right?
Fair.
And now there's so many female coaches, but there's also a lot of female coaches that want to coach men.
Yeah.
And I think that's like super rad because I'm like, cool. I don't want to be the only one forever, is like, I think back in the day, people would be like their competition or whatever. Like, it's like we all do the same shit.
Yeah.
I welcome that because like when women are like, I want to coach men, there is an advantage to the fact that I feel men open up a lot easier to me than they would to one of my coaches or maybe, a dude who they want to look like.
Yeah.
So there's that effect, but also I feel like we're very empathetic. We understand that you guys are really just, we have to get you out of your own way.
That is very cool.
So,
That's very cool.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate your time with us, Allie. You heard it first here, Allie Gilbert, the queen of men's fitness.
Health.
Men's health. Thank you for having us. Thank you for being on this with us.
You're welcome. Normalize boner talk.
Yes, definitely normalize that. And we'll see you soon.
I stumped you there.
All right. just kind of backstory, and I'll just rifle some questions at you. Yeah, here we go. Testing.
Check.
Does that sound all right?
We got it.
Volume's decent.
We're good.
All right. What's going on, guys? Dr. Matt here, host of the Roadie Strength Podcast. We got Isaac on, and you are owner of Anchor
Yes.
Pulley Systems. So tell us a little bit about the product you have and a little bit about the business and kind of how you got into that.
Yeah. So first off, Anchor. So we design, engineer, manufacture compact cable machines. So that's
Cool.
what we specialize in. And the unique thing about our equipment is that, one, even though it's compact, it's still 100% mechanical. So no batteries, no charging, no cords.
That's nice.
And we build them all just outside of Boston, Massachusetts. So
Very cool.
based local here in New England. And then I can give you, do you want a quick backstory
Let's
of how
hear
we
it.
started building these things
yes,
up there?
I do.
So I had a really bad shoulder injury playing baseball in college. Needed a labrum repair, reconstructive surgery. And so one of the pieces of equipment that I used a lot once I had mobility back with the trainer, starting to build back strength, because all I was thinking about was returning to the field, making a comeback, right?
Yeah.
And you always knew about cables being an athlete in the gym, but I used them so much because it was easier on my joints. I could change the resistance easy, work in so many different planes. So it was really just firsthand experience. Okay, these cables are so great. Why didn't we use these before?
Right.
And then it was the observation, well, our varsity weight room has 12 squat racks and one cable machine. So that's why we never use them, right?
Right.
And why is that? Well, because they're big, bulky pieces of equipment. They take up a lot of space and cost $1,000. So that was kind of the idea. And it was there any way to make a smooth cable experience more accessible, right? More compact, more affordable. So that was basically the idea. And it spun out of a grad school project after that, a couple years.
Way.
I pitched it. I went to a small school outside Boston. That's what brought me there, Babson College.
Cool.
Pitched it in the class. Everyone had to share a business idea. I shared this idea of this cable machine, and I met a co-founder, Nathaniel, who I ended up starting the business with, and he's kind of the brains behind it. He had a couple design ideas.
Cool.
He had a buddy down the road with an auto shop with a 3D printer in the back, and that's
No
how we
way.
built the first model.
All right.
Figured out, okay, and then we're like, we got to make the resistance adjustable. How do we
Yep.
keep it smooth? How do we get the cable longer? And how are we going to mount it? And that's where we came up with kind of that modular system. And so right after that program, we set up shop in his parents' garage, started building them, and it just really, word of mouth took off with a couple professional teams finding out about us early on, to the point where
That's awesome.
we were able to, move beyond just professional teams to college, high school, private facilities, rehab clinics, home gyms,
Sweet.
and certainly grew out of the garage multiple facilities later, but still do all the assembly and build just outside of Boston. So that's kind of the quick 2-minute rundown on the Anchor story.
No, that's great. I love two things about that. One, that's local, that you guys you're born and bred here in New England, and two, that it's like it was coming from like, or you weren't like, oh, what device can I create to make $1 million? It was more of like a, hey, selfishly, I want to use this for myself, and then it can expand and to help other people. And for the people at home, I'm sure a lot of people that are listening to this may have seen because I see them all the time, either at gyms or online or whatever. But for the people who aren't familiar with it, it's very easy, or it seems to be easy to just when you purchase the product to like bolt it onto any squat rack, or can they attach to other things as well, or is it?
Yeah, we have with our Anchor Pro is our super compact portable one, and then the Anchor X is the slightly larger commercial one, but still very compact compared to a cable machine. We have our universal strap mount that you can use on any strong fixture. So we've seen people use it on poles or columns, to trees, to fence posts, benches, anything sturdy, and they wrap it around there, indoor or outdoor.
Fair.
So that's kind of that nice versatility about it, like you said.
That's really cool. And as far as the product, you mentioned you have two variations of the product right now.
Yeah, the two main lines. Yes.
So have you made? Obviously, you've made some iterations or advancements of the product since the garage days, but kind of take me through that process of like what you guys have done to make the product better.
Yeah, so that first iteration we had of the Anchor and Anchor Pro model, where you have small resistance plates that you can add or remove from the side of the unit to change the resistance.
Sure.
That was amazing, and that's what got it started, but also continues to be a really strong part of our product line, being the most portable option.
Sure.
The fact that it physically only weighs 8 pounds, but you can get 65 pounds of resistance out of it. So
That's nice.
The portability, versatility, ability to move it around on your rack or wherever you have it set up. We have wall mount options. So all of that is one side of it.
Cool.
And then the newer one, which wasn't meant to replace those versions, but
Sure.
meant to be a higher grade heavier duty commercial model where
Sure.
it's not going to have the same portability, but it's still going to have that compact footprint. But really for, you mean a higher volume facility, because we had a lot of customers, wanting to use it and environments that, get a lot of use. So we said, hey, we can definitely make some product improvements
Sure.
to not only improve durability, longevity, but also more resistance,
Sure.
more cable length,
Sure.
more kind of range of motion around that cable with the roller system that we have. But the biggest thing was that with the newer one, can anyone walk up to it and use it with no instruction? If you had never seen it before, and that was our design criteria.
Sure.
Can we create, and that's hence why there's no battery charger or anything like that,
That-
because
yeah,
all
which
of our
is nice,
stuff
yeah.
is ready out of the box, right?
Yeah,
There's no assembly
yeah.
required. That's,
Take it out of the box and
part
use
of the
it.
value. But it was that sense. Can anyone walk up to and figure it out? Because all the new one is, it's just a dial on the bottom, a lever on the side if you want to slide it up and down on the rack.
Sure.
And that's it. You just need to know change resistance, change height. There's nothing else to worry about.
That's
So
cool.
That was the big thing. And the reason we changed that was one of the things we learned was don't fall in love with necessarily, our solution to something.
Sure,
Fall
yeah.
in love with the problem, right?
Sure,
and for
yeah.
us, the problem was, well, we want to make it as easy as possible for any coach, athlete, client to be able to use our product. And part of
Right.
that was, moving away from that plate system, keeping that with our portable line, and making the commercial line a totally different mechanism with that dial.
Sure. And do you find people? I know one of the things that people have used for cable somewhat recently is like some of the really long cable exercises. I don't want to name it by name, but like there's some different formats of training out there that will use some of those rotational movements. Are you finding that? Because I know some people who are looking for that, you need to go buy a cable machine specifically for that. Are you finding that that style of training is effective with the anchor unit?
We definitely have had,
Yeah.
quite a few customers that have used it in kind of different training methods that require longer cable. The newer unit that we have goes out to 10 feet. And I know
Wow.
definitely, for some of those methods, they'd want to get further, maybe out to, 15 plus, which
Sure, yeah.
potentially, a possibility in the future, but certainly with 10 feet of cable, can get you started and you can do quite a bit with.
That's very cool. Okay, awesome. Yeah, it's a great product. Especially
appreciate that.
like you said, like it's if you got for me selfishly like a home gym, like if you're looking to do some sort of cable work, like that's the way to do it.
You got it. It keeps the footprint down. I can tell you what's in my home gym. So
Right,
there you
right,
go.
perfect. So just final question for you, just regarding kind of like the summit. So I met you here last year, and we were like, all right, we got to make this podcast happen. So we're doing it today. But
I promise. Like I said, that was the first
You
thing I said
kept-
when I saw
yeah,
you.
yeah.
I owe you. I didn't forget.
So tell me a little bit. Have you been to quite a few summits before?
Yeah, this would be number 6, I think.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right. So that was my kind of next question. Like, what do you like about the summit? What keeps you coming back?
It's the people and the
Yeah.
relationships. Like that's
Yeah.
the biggest thing. I think, the first one's a little different because it's almost all new people. Definitely knew
Sure.
some people outside of it.
Sure.
But now it's, a lot of relationships that maybe this is the only time I see them in person.
Yeah.
But some people, I see a couple times a year and
Sure.
still, it's very always special to just be able to be in person.
Yeah.
There's something with that value.
Yeah.
And obviously the relationship we have, with Perform Better 2 as a partner, them being one of our first partners as well,
Very cool.
was very, pivotal and important when we were kind of getting started
Yeah.
as a business and even, out of the garage way back then to, know about them. So that's been really cool. But the biggest thing is the relationships of the people here.
Love that. Awesome. Well, hey, thank you so much, man.
Hey, thanks for
Crushed
having
it.
me on. I appreciate it.
You got it. Roadie Strength signing off. Warm up. All right. When you guys.
All right, here with Roadie Strength Podcast, Dr. Matt here, talking with my man, Kevin. All right, Kevin, if you don't mind, give us a little background.
Yeah, thank you for having me. My name's Kevin Carr. I'm a strength and conditioning coach and massage therapist. I am one of the partners at Mike Boyle Strength Conditioning up in Woburn in Middleton, Massachusetts, as well as co-founder of Certified Functional Strength Coach certification and massage therapist at Movement as Medicine, which is our massage therapy and movement clinic right at Mike Boyle Strength Conditioning.
That's very cool.
Yeah.
If you don't mind me asking, how long have you been in the business?
I interned at Mike Boyle Strength Conditioning in 2008.
Okay. All right.
So, yeah, about 18 years.
Wow, that is very, very cool. So I saw you spoke and also did a hands-on experience today here at the Perform Better Summit. Do you mind going into each one of those?
Yeah, so my topic for both of these was delivering successful group training at scale. So to give you an idea of what we do at MBSC, we have over 1,000 reoccurring group clients, everything from 11-year-old kids 80-year-old adults, professional athletes, college athletes, training in a group setting, about 10 people at a time.
Wow.
And so what we wanted to share was how did we successfully scale our group training business to be able to provide high-quality, individualized coaching in a group setting.
That's really
And
cool.
so what I wanted to go through was really the 3 big pillars that I think make our business successful: people, systems, and execution. So how do we hire the right people? How do we develop them? How do we develop systems and programming that's scalable for a large group of people that allows our business to run like a machine? And then most importantly, execution on the floor. How do we deliver great customer experience? How do we deliver great coaching? And what are the real keys to doing that? And so in the lecture, I really went through those big pillars. And then in the hands-on, I delivered a group training experience to over 150 people where I took them through a workout for an hour and took them through what I'm thinking about as a coach, what we're thinking about as a business from a coach's perspective. How do we build the program? How do we scale it for the easiest progression to the hardest progression? How do we make it work so it's an individualized experience? And so I took them through that and really tried to give them a glimpse into our mind at our business. How do we build a program that scales successfully?
That's very, very cool. The part that I like the most about what we were talking about is how you can essentially individualize a workout for somebody within a group program at the same time. That's not something you hear frequently, so that's very, very cool.
Yeah, I think the big thing that coaches need to be able to do is they need to be able to write down their model and know what they believe in. And so our staff, we have almost 40 coaches on staff at our facility who we really almost indoctrinate into our belief system and our training system so that they have a clear understanding of how to take every version of a squat, make it easier or harder, how to scale mobility and movement prep for everyone in the group so they're getting the right intervention within the training program. And so if you have a really good understanding of your system in a progression-regression model, then you can scale your individual training to make everybody get what's right for them. And getting our coaches to be able to master that is what has allowed us to serve a wide population at one time.
Yeah, that's very cool. Now, you said you've been in this industry for 18 years. Some trends have come, some trends have gone.
Yep.
Especially within group training, small group training.
Yep.
What trends have you liked? What trends have you not liked?
Yeah. Well, it's funny. With group training especially, I mean, initially when people hear group training, they think Group X class. They think like, hey, Orange Theory, we're going to work as hard as possible. We're going to make people as tired as possible. We're going to make people sweat. And what I think has been a nice change from that is strength training has become very mainstream. You think in the last 5 years, I'm having more and more people come into my facility who have never lifted a weight before.
Yep.
Who are saying, strength training is good for me. I know I need to exercise more. I've heard about strength training. How do I do it? I have people batting down the doors asking to lift weights.
Got it.
Right? And that is something that, if I think back to around 2008, that is not the norm. You go into a normal gym, everyone was on a cardio machine, which is fine, but people weren't doing that piece of the program. And so now that trend, I think coaches have a great opportunity if you're able to scale your programming not just to the lifting enthusiast, the person who already knows how to lift weights and likes lifting, but scale it to people like my parents or my grandparents who need it probably more than anybody, but don't know how to start. If you are able to build a facility and have a coaching staff that understands how to work with anybody and communicate in a way that's welcoming, safe, supportive, and get them into it, you can change people's lives in that way.
Yeah.
And so the customers are there, right? And there's also money to be spent. I think, that population of people who are my parents' age, they hold the majority of the wealth.
Yeah.
And they're the ones with the time. And so you have to be able to build a business that can service them as best as possible.
Yeah, that's incredible. So a couple of fun questions. Number one, what is your favorite part of the Perform Better Summit?
The people. I mean, I've been coming to this since I started at MBSC. Mike Boyle took our entire staff here when I first started as an intern. We still do that. We bring our entire staff down here, all 15 of them. I encourage anyone who's a gym owner to do that. The connections I've made, the people and friendships I've developed over the years here, these people are like my family. And so I go to at least 2 of them every summer. Like I went to Long Beach a few weeks ago. Now I'm here. And to me, I look forward so much into seeing all these people and connecting with them. And these are the people we do business with. These are the people that are in our personal lives. So for me, it's the people.
That's awesome. And as someone that's traveled down here to Providence a few times, as you just mentioned, what's your favorite part of Providence?
This is like a summer ritual. It's funny. This is where I met my wife.
Interesting. Okay.
So I'm married with 2 kids. My wife, I met her here.
That's at the summit.
Yes.
Very cool.
2016. So to me, it's a really special place.
Yeah.
So my wife and I, she's actually not here this time. Usually she's with me because we think of this as like our anniversary,
Yeah.
right,
Yeah.
of when we met. And so for us, like, it's a really special place. And coming back down here, it kind of takes me back to when I first met her. And so the whole Providence specifically has a special place in my heart.
That's awesome. That's awesome. All right. Thank you, guys. We got Kevin here. Come check him out for the remainder of the time here at the summit. Thanks for coming on.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Of course.
Yeah, it's really funny. I met my wife here. And so I was telling her, thank you. That's great.
What are you gonna ask me?
Kevin has a list on his stream.
I can force you to go here. Does he really?
No.
Kevin's always volunteering for shit. He volunteers for all kinds of stuff.
That's why he's good at what he does. Oh boy.
Is this supposed to be that close?
You can make it as close as you want. How's the volume? Is it too loud or is it?
It's wonderful.
All right, perfect. All right, so to start off, we basically do just quick introduce yourself, who you are, what you do.
Right now?
Yeah, when you're ready.
Oh, do I look at the camera or?
You can look at me or the camera. Either one is fine.
I'm Colin McGarty. I own Seacoast Kettlebell, 2 gyms in southern New Hampshire, and occasionally I come help out, present, and perform better. But today I'm a spectator. So
Love that. So we talked to you last year.
yes,
And we got kind of the deep dive on kind of like what you were doing out in New Hampshire.
yes.
New Hampshire with the kettlebells and the training and everything. So what's been exciting? What's changed since last year?
We've been really doing a focus on small group personal training and then fitness over 40.
Cool.
And that's going really well, actually. So
Sweet.
It's good. We still have our big groups too, but it's an underserved market, I think.
So small groups meaning like what size?
Like groups are like 6 or under.
Cool. Why the shift? Well, not shift away, but why the specialization towards that?
It's basically underserved audience, I think, underserved
Sure.
client in the market. So like all the chains are all pushing large group training.
Sure.
There's no one really in my area doing the small group.
Sure.
And I think when you have both, it makes it a good product for them.
So is it for someone who's like, all right, I feel like I might get not as good one-on-one support in the big groups, or?
I mean, we can do one-on-one, but yeah, you can get pretty close to one-on-one in a group of like 4 to 6
Totally,
people. Like
totally.
It's not that far off.
So you get a lot of like hands-on. You get a lot of oversight from the trainer.
Yeah, you get hands-on, plus you get the support of the group as well.
Sure,
which
sure.
Is and that's like the fun part too. One-on-one is boring, man. I don't know if you've done a lot of one-on-one, but I've been there where I'm like, oh my god.
Well, especially if you're in a like a workout or a gym where like you're like suffering with somebody.
Oh, yeah.
The group suffering is definitely
Yeah,
helps
even if it's a
versus your
small group, you're like, at least you're in
because
a group.
if you're with just a trainer, sometimes it's like, oh, the trainer's not suffering.
No, yeah, it's just socially like awkward, just like this interview right here, socially
Love
awkward.
Love it. Well, you're crushing it, just like you did last year.
I'm sure this will be heavily edited.
Yes,
so.
yes. We'll send it off to Kevin to put his expertise on it.
Thank you.
But so you're doing more of this the small group training and more of the fitness over 40. You said?
Yeah.
Cool. So same thing. Did you find that was more of an underserved population, or?
Yeah, I mean, like the whole like fitness machine is like pushing, F45, Orange Theories are all pushing, even CrossFit to some extent, all pushing like fitness for like 20-year-olds, which is cool.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
Like I think it's like 10,000 people a day are turning, over 60 or something like that. It's like it's just crazy, and they have more money too. And
Sure.
honestly, like you can do some life-changing stuff with them versus a 20-year-old who like gym hops and is like, I'm gonna go try whatever next.
Right,
you know what I'm saying?
right.
So.
No, that makes a lot of sense because like especially like disposable income. Maybe they're still in college, still out of college. They might not have the access to doing gym classes, and then like you said, like maybe they're not really struggling with health and fitness related stuff as much.
I mean, you can. They're really
yeah.
fun to train, and
right.
But like they're gonna
Right.
come and go for sure.
There might be more need in that 40 plus.
Totally.
group.
Yeah. No, it's like real.
Right.
You can do like
Yeah.
life-changing stuff with someone that's in that older demographic.
Sure.
20-year-olds are awesome and fun to train, but like I said, they get married, they move, they get a new job,
Sure.
or they just go try something else. Or
Fair. And are you sticking to mostly kettlebells during your training too? or?
I need to rebrand my gym, but like we do everything. We
Cool.
I've gotten Tom Plummer will shame me all the time for not rebranding my gym. So, yeah, we do everything. So
Cool. And so your classes are like you may have a kettlebell class, you might have like a HIIT class.
yeah,
or-
we have like large group training, which is it's by theme every
Yeah.
day, and then we do a ton of small group personal training.
Cool.
We have like boxing for fitness as well, which
Oh,
I
nice.
presented on Perform Better for that.
Yes,
So,
last year.
yes. Yeah.
Yes, that's very cool.
Someone
very cool.
punched me.
During-
Still recovering. Yeah.
During the hands-on.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Be
No, they're
sorry.
like, be quiet.
Oh jeez.
No, I'm just.
All right, fair. All right, very cool. And remind me, where in New Hampshire are you guys?
We're in Dover and Portsmouth.
Okay, cool. Portsmouth, beautiful.
Yeah, Portsmouth is nice.
Beautiful spot. All right, cool. And then last question, wrap-up question. What's your favorite thing about Kevin? Or I mean, Perform Better.
Oh, Kevin or Perform Better?
You can answer
It's
both.
Kevin's eyes.
Yes. Kevin's eyes. All right.
Yes.
Yeah, that might be the first time he's heard his beautiful eyes.
Yeah, he's a beautiful man. Just a beautiful man.
Yes.
Perform Better. Like I love coming because you get to learn from some of the best coaches in the world, and
Totally.
then it's great for me to bring my staff too, because sometimes I come back and they'll think I'm nuts, and I'm like, look, this isn't my idea.
Yeah, right.
This is
Don't
like, this
blame
guy is like
me.
a doctor, and he's
Don't
way
blame
smarter than
me.
me, and it's yeah. So
That's
they
cool.
get to see and interact with awesome coaches, and then look at all the equipment you guys have and stuff. So it's
Yeah.
awesome.
Which is cool because you said you've been doing more spectating this year.
This year I presented in Chicago.
Oh, cool.
When was that? Like a month ago or something like that?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, I dodged any podcasting that you guys did.
Nice.
But-
Yeah. Not this time. We got you.
Yeah, but this time I have a crew of staff with me, so
Cool. Okay.
that's good. Yeah,
So-
good deal for them too.
So as far as Providence, because you've been doing more spectating with your crew, anything cool that you've picked up so far that you're like, all right, I want to bring that back to the gym, or anything just cool in general?
Yeah, I mean, like honestly, the nutrition thing, we had a dietitian, and we don't have her anymore. We used to do a nutrition program, and like that nutrition that she was talking about, Nicole.
Yeah. We're gonna get her on next.
Yeah, so that looks like an awesome program. I'm considering implementing that because we should do nutrition like to get better results. But
Sure.
But I'm like, we don't have a dietitian anymore. I hate it. Like I'll do nutrition myself, but I don't want to I just need to put in implement, plug and play a program.
Yeah, yeah.
She looked like her program was pretty awesome. So
There you go. Great connection.
yeah,
Love it. Awesome. Well, hey.
yeah.
Thank you so much for being
I'll
on.
see you next
Yep.
year, hopefully.
See you next year. Yep.
I'll be less welcome.
God willing.
All right, Dr. Matt here with the Road to Strength podcast. I'm here with my new friend, Nicole. Nicole, if you don't mind, give us a little background.
Oh, yeah. Thanks for having me. This is awesome. I am a registered dietitian, former gym owner, and have been helping gyms for the past 15 years implement nutrition programs.
Very cool.
So, as a gym owner, my background actually as a dietitian in the hospital, and
Awesome.
realized how broken the healthcare system was, and it was a revolving door. I wasn't actually helping people, so I started a side hustle called Healthy Steps Nutrition.
Cool.
And we had doctors referring to us, and then we started going and helping gym owners implement nutrition programs. And fast forward almost 15 years, and here we are today.
That is amazing. So I saw that you spoke yesterday.
Yes.
What did you speak on?
How to build a nutrition program in your gym. So I had a form for people to fill out afterwards just to see where are people at, and the most common answer was we have informal conversations about nutrition, but we don't have a structured program to deliver nutrition, which means they're not making any revenue from nutrition too.
Fair enough.
So we talked about how do you do it and systemize a program in a way that is scalable, that multiple coaches can be delivering, and you're providing a consistent experience like you do for your fitness. So how do you set up a program? How do you staff it? And then how do you systemize it? What tools do you need to be able to serve not just 10 people, but 100 people with nutrition? So that was fun. And then we talked about what do the best gym owners do. So
Interesting.
that's always good to show, right? Okay, if I'm going to invest time, energy, resources in getting a nutrition program up and running, give me the cheat code.
Yeah, for sure.
So those three things where you, as a gym owner, you have to lead from the front. So this was a mistake I actually made when we started a Healthy Steps Nutrition Mentoring Program, is I didn't require gym owners to go through the training. I just was okay, well, if you want nutrition, find someone and they can go through the training. But if you as a gym owner do not know what the gold standard is to be able to hold your coaches accountable, and you don't know how to get the rest of the team aligned, because the nutrition coach can't be the only one talking about nutrition, then your program is not really going to grow. So we talked about how do you do that in a really sustainable way. And as a gym owner, even I owned a gym for almost 10 years. I did not do nutrition coaching for anyone for the last 5, but I would gladly talk to everyone and was really confident that any of my coaches could deliver nutrition coaching. So I think that is a really important role for a gym owner to play. And then we talked about creating health in the culture of your gym. So
Fair enough.
How do you have conversations? So if someone, I'll give you an example. If someone says that workout was way harder than it should have been, or I'm sore all the time, I'm tired all the time, or I'm not seeing results, what is the next thing that comes out of your mouth as a gym owner or a coach?
Fair enough.
Like, is it, oh man, that workout was really hard? Or is it like, hey, how are you eating? How are you sleeping? What's going on outside of the gym? How are you addressing the other 23 hours of the day? Because those are really influencing your ability to reach your health and wellness goals. So when you can connect the dots for people, then it's a little bit easier for them to buy in.
I can speak to that. My own situation has been in the fitness industry for quite a while.
Yeah.
When someone can answer something confidently like that, you know, and looking bigger picture on those type of zones rather than just simply saying, as you just stated, yeah, I agree, that was a hard workout or something like that. It goes a really long way, you know, things like this. They're thinking that far into everything for each one of their members individually, which is huge.
Right. And when you think about how often those conversations come up, or could they come up, it's every single class. In every single class, someone says something that opens the door to have a conversation about how are you addressing the other 23 hours of the day. And when I look at the gyms that are the most successful, it's the entire team is talking about that, not necessarily delivering the nutrition coaching, but they're talking about how do I help my members see better results, and they can at least guide people to get started with the next step with nutrition coaching. So it could be just working with a nutrition coach that is certified on staff, but everyone in the whole team feels really confident having those conversations.
True. So, interesting question for you next.
Yeah.
As someone that's been not only in the fitness industry as a gym owner for 10 years, but also been in the industry in the nutrition and dietetics side of things for 15 years, there's been an absolute plethora of trends that have come and gone with different things. Can you speak to some of the trends that you've seen, some of the trends that you've liked, and some of the ones that you've been, let's say, a little harder on?
Oh, goodness. No, I think there's no perfect diet for anyone. It's the thing that someone can do consistently. And so many times people will try to change too much at one time.
Fair.
And can you see results in a short amount of time doing something drastic? Maybe, but you're probably going to regain the weight that you lost because it's not sustainable. The way we focus on things is just a habit-based approach, so focusing on one step at a time. I've seen people that do really well with something that's really strict, but again, they usually go back to old habits. And the one thing that all fad diets have in common, or most of them, it's something that's very extreme.
Yep.
And then it doesn't work out well. I think GLP-1s are a really interesting conversation for gym owners now because so many people are on them, thinking about getting on them. Insurance companies or like big corporations are paying for them. I think it's like, I read a statistic not that long ago that was 30% of large companies paying for GLP-1s are also requiring lifestyle interventions, which is actually, I think, really, really important. It should be a higher percentage, but I think that we're in a good place. It's better than last year. And I think that if you as a gym owner are thinking we shouldn't, like if someone's on a GLP-1, we can't work with them, or it's like we're us against them, I don't think that that's the best approach to have. People that are on those medications need gym owners more than ever. They, with those medications, your appetite is suppressed so much. Typically, people lose a significant amount of muscle mass, not from the medications, but from not doing strength training and under eating and not getting enough protein. And that's where the lifestyle interventions with gym owners and coaches could play a vital part to help improve health outcomes of those people that try and take them for maybe a short period or a longer period of time. So I think that where I see the future of fitness and gyms, and my hope is that we create a bridge between what happens in clinical care and what is going on in our gyms, because the clinical setting is not set up to be able to support lifestyle interventions. Like doctors and healthcare providers don't have the tools, the resources, the time, and we do as gym owners and coaches. So we just need to create a really easy bridge to be able to get the people from the clinic to our facilities to be able to support them with the whole health picture and be able to give that quick feedback loop of here's the awesome things that are going on. Here's the body composition that's changing. Like most doctors don't have something like an in-body scanner to be able to test muscle mass, yet most healthcare providers know that their patients are losing a significant amount of muscle mass. But as a gym, which we do, have an in-body machine, I will gladly give everyone a free InBody machine that comes from a doctor's office to be able to test and then retest them every 3 months. And it's a great way to get leads for you.
For sure.
Simple, super effective, and I think it's a really important piece of the puzzle that you can have conversations with those people that need your help the most.
Yeah, that's awesome. So a couple of fun questions next.
Okay.
I'm going to make an assumption that you've been coming to the Perform Better Summit for several years. Maybe I'm wrong. But what is your favorite part of the Perform Better Summit?
It is so clear that Chris has done a really great, and the whole team have done a really great job creating community here. Like
Fair.
So this is my second year. I went
Cool.
last year to Chicago and spoke, and then this year here. And it's just really fun to see everyone again. And it's clear. I mean, you talk to anyone, they're like, oh, this is my 15th year, 16th year. And it's amazing that people are obviously continuing to find value here. And he just curates such a really great group of speakers and just people connecting with each other. I think as a gym owner, it can feel lonely sometimes, and it's hard. And being able to get together in this type of community and leave fired up, not only for you, but your coaches too. I think what they do is incredible. If you look at the amount of coaches that are here, it's incredible that you can bring your staff and everyone is learning something and going into all these different sessions, and then you can powwow afterwards and then all rise the tide together. So I think my favorite part of this event specifically is the community that is fostered here.
Very cool. And then, so someone that's in dietetics and nutrition coming to Providence, Rhode Island.
Yeah.
What is your favorite thing to eat when you come here?
Well, we had, what did I eat yesterday? We went to Mexican yesterday.
Okay.
Had
all right.
fajitas.
Nice. There you go.
I don't know. I mean, the day before that, what did I have? I don't even remember. I think some type of chicken dish.
All good. All good.
Yeah, simple. I don't know. What should I have? What's good here?
Very known for Italian, especially in this area. There's literally a street called Federal Hill, like right over on Atwells Ave. Almost the best Italian you can have in like this zone. Very, very, very fresh, realistic, like from like the actual old country, as they say.
Okay.
And then of course, being in Rhode Island, seafood.
Yeah.
Anywhere on the coast, Bristol, down on the island, Portsmouth, Middletown, Narragansett, any of those kind of zones. Legitimate seafood, if you have the time to stick around.
Okay.
Things with this kind of zone.
Now I'm going to have to come back next year and have a little bit more time to explore the food.
Yeah, 100%. All right, everybody. Nicole here. Come check her out while she's still around. Ask her some questions. Very, very interesting material. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
And we'll see you soon.
Sounds good.
Okay.
All right, Dr. Matt here, host of the Roadie Strength Podcast. We got Mark Fisher on today.
Right.
What's going on? We're at the Perform Better Summit. How's it going?
Yeah, it's fantastic. Yeah, great to be here.
Sweet deal. So give quick intro, kind of tell us kind of who you are, what you do, maybe a little bit about what you spoke about this weekend.
Yeah, so my name is Mark Fisher. I do gym and business stuff. So longtime gym owner, current gym owner, and also a coach, consultant, speaker on gym business things. This Perform Better Summit, my talk was on the 5 things that top gym owners do differently, because I have a lot of clients who've done very well. I have a lot of friends that have done very well. There's been a lot of progress in the industry in the last, I think, 15 years as far as like how we run gym businesses.
Sure.
And I wanted to kind of codify the things that I think I was seeing the most successful gyms doing that were consistent. Because the other thing, too, worth knowing out loud is one of the things, the takeaways from the talk, I think, is that they're doing a lot of different things, right? People are always like, success leaves clues. And that's true. That is like true so far as it goes. But in practice, when I look at the top gym owners, again, among my friend group and my clients, they actually run a lot of different models, right? They don't all run the similar coach to client ratio. Some have one giant gym with a number of services. Some have 15 gyms with one service. They have different approaches to org charts, different sales funnels, different front-end offers. But there are like some things they all do consistent, I think, a little bit more structurally, and that's largely what the talk was about.
Sure. Okay, that's cool. And that kind of relates to what we were talking off air. It was like me and my partner, we run like a lean team of just 2 PTs.
Yeah, that's right.
And we seem to be doing pretty well with that. Yeah. So kind of to your examples, like there's different versions of what success might look like for every
I think that's right. Yeah.
company. Yeah.
Like our whole like shtick is like build a gym and a life you love, right? They need to be both.
Yeah.
One of the things we were talking about too, which I think is a good consideration for anybody listening and watching, is the nature of consuming content from people that do what I do is we have to speak in maxims. We have to speak in absolutes, only because it's just too annoying to listen to us when you're qualifying everything. Like, well, a lot of the time it seems maybe you might want to boo, 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 boo. And then the trick of this is sometimes, because we have to speak with a certain amount of clarity and certainty, it can occasionally take someone off track away from the life they want to be living, right?
Sure.
Now, the reality is, I think here's another framework, another way that I think about this is, if you look at the conventional wisdom for running a training gym, if you're not happy with your results, probably try the conventional wisdom. Probably don't assume that your way is correct because you're doing it differently. On the other hand, if you're happy with what we're talking about, if you're happy with what you're doing, you should maybe keep doing what you're doing. That's not to say that we don't want to consider changes or make improvements on the margins. Certainly there's a case for that.
Sure.
But, that's another thing that's true is so we have a core coaching group called the Unicorn Society. So we work several hundred gym owners in that. But then we have a smaller group called the Leadership Society that Michael and I work with. And these are very advanced individuals. There's like net income requirements. They've been in business a long time. They're largely buying buildings, scaling to multiple locations. And so often there's things that they're all doing, and I'm like, I don't think that should work. I don't like that, but it seems to be working for you. Because, sometimes you do have a freaky operator and or a freaky market that can leverage some unique either talent or opportunity by doing something that's against conventional wisdom. So, too long didn't read is if you're happy with what you're doing, keep doing what you're doing. If you're not happy with what's happening, then, maybe consider some of the more conventional wisdoms that make sense for the typical gym owner in the typical market in a typical situation.
Beautiful. I love that. And you mentioned with your talk this weekend, was it the 5 things? Did you have bullet pointed 5 things?
Yep.
Can you give us maybe one?
One
thing?
Sure, for sure.
This might be too much to ask in a small
time.
Yeah.
I mean, I think like one of the thing to start with, I think it relates to this. I'll give maybe 2.
Okay.
We'll see. Maybe I'll give 5. We'll see how fast I talk. I do speak quickly.
Yeah.
The first thing is having a clear vision of where you want to go.
Cool.
Right? Because even though when I think about the best gym owners, they run different models, they're different org charts, they're different systems. They're all clear on what they want for their life. They're clear on what they want for their business. Because you need to know that before you create the plan, right? That they were alluding to this before. Like, well, what do you want to do? That depends. And just like training, right? Well, what are your goals for training?
Right.
That's going to lend itself to different approaches to program design, different approaches to training frequency, recovery protocols, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
And I think running a gym is much the same way. And I think the best gym owners are clear on their personal goals, the life they want to be creating, and how that intersects with the business, as well as the kind of business they're looking to create, right? Not to get too grandiose, but I am a believer that, it's a kind of art. I think building a business is a kind of art. I always felt when I ran Mark Fisher Fitness, my first gym, I was always like, this is my love letter to New York City. This is my love letter to New Yorkers. It's like an imperfect, like homemade thing, and I made it for you because I love you, right? And I think that needs to be considered. Because once you know that, then I think one of the second things the best gym owners all do very consistently is they track key performance indicators. They track metrics on a weekly basis. They track results. They track behaviors. Because you begin to make that plan to pull forth the future into the present. Because once you know your 5-year goals, the business can have 3-year goals, 1-year goals, quarterly projects, and then what are we doing every day to move the ball forward, right? So you're spending, I think Gary Vaynerchuk talks about, you're spending some time in the sky, and then you get in the dirt. Like, what do I need to do right now to move the ball towards the life I want to live?
I like that. I have not heard that quote before. I need to steal that and use that.
I'm pretty sure I'm paraphrasing
it. No,
I like
sorry,
it, Gary.
The sky in the ground, the sky in the dirt. I like that.
No,
that's very cool. And also, like you said, if you're not tracking some sort of metrics or KPIs, like how do you know what direction you're even going?
It's just like training, it's like, I guess you can do like the wood, then you're running into like the wood into confusing activity with achievement.
Yeah.
And like, if you don't care, like if you don't actually have any goals, that's why the first one matters. It's like, well, I guess do whatever you want to do. It doesn't really matter.
Sure enough.
I guess that's okay. But I think most people, the business is also more fun when it's like a game, right? Like having some kind of scorecard, which by the way, that's another, I think, big takeaway from my talk is not always money. I think you need to care about money some. I think it's a bad idea. It's like, I don't care about money, or I'm afraid of money, or I hate money. But I don't know. If you're in this industry, there's probably some other things that are important for you in your life, some that you won't even quite be able to quantify, and I think that's okay.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, there's still an opportunity to get clear on, here's the life I want to be living, here's how I want to spend my time, here's the impact I want to be making on people, here's the experiences I want to have, and then go, because we're not long for this world, baby.
Yeah. All right, last question I'm gonna leave you with, and it can be a one-word or one-phrase answer. Favorite thing about Perform Better?
I don't even know where to begin, man. It's so hard. Like, I'm so emotional about this place because
Yeah.
I've been coming. I was thinking about taking the train up here. I was like, I think my first year was 2009.
All right.
Like, what? This place has been so important for my evolution as a fitness professional, as a trainer, as a business owner. I've learned so much specifically from the Perform Better team and the way they conduct business, the way I see Chris Poirier show up in the world as kind of a mentor to me and a sort of leader for the industry.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think there's a lot I could say about it, but I think the thing that I like best is just the collection of the kinds of people that jump into this event that are drawn to it. There's like a signal, a proxy for certain shared value, and a real commitment to excellence at the training piece, right? And it's interesting, like sometimes I get on my rocking chair, I'm in the old gym owner home, and I'm like, it's the displaced nutrients. Learn about leads, but maybe learn how to deadlift first. Learn how to deadlift, you little jerk. Because the reality is, and that is a different dynamic, and Perform Better is really, I think, doing a great job of balancing this. Yeah, we have more business stuff than we did 10 years ago. I think that's great. Mm-hmm. But you still need to train, Like, sometimes, like, a guy that does what I do, it's like, I get you more leads, but is the training good?
Right.
Like, are
How's
you
the
getting
deadlift form
results?
looking?
Yeah. It's like, and certainly part of that is the interpersonal stuff, too, because that's part of what people are paying for is the, it's the results, the relationships, and the experience. But some of the experience, and certainly a lot of the results, is like, do we understand how to impose loads on humans' bodies? And I'm the first to admit, listen, if it's Gen Pop, don't get it twisted. Like, we don't need to get that overly complicated, but you need to understand the basics of what we're doing to create kind of any sort of like fitness outcome you're looking for, even if it's like Gen Pop, which admittedly is a different animal than the rare air of elite athleticism.
Sure.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Cool.
That's a great answer.
All right,
Thank
buddy.
you so much,
Appreciate
man.
you much.
Yep.
Yeah, thank you.
Take care. Hey, John. And yeah, we're doing, simple stuff like who you are, what you do, what you spoke on this weekend, and then your favorite thing about Kevin. Nothing about Kevin? Just kidding. No. Awesome. Perform better. Yeah. Perform better. All right. All right, what's going on, guys? Dr. Matt here, host of the Roadie Strength Podcast. We got John with us today, so just give us a quick intro of kind of like who you are and what you do, and then we'll get into what you talked about today.
Okay.
Or yesterday.
Great. Thanks, Matt.
You got it.
I'm John Graham. I'm the Senior Network Administrator for Lifestyle Health and Wellness, Fitness and Sports Performance at St. Luke's University Health Network in Pennsylvania and New Jersey.
Very cool. Awesome. And I saw just from some of your bio that you've done a lot of work with the NSCA as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I've had the privilege of being with them for a long time, and I was very honored this year that they made me the Lifetime Achievement Award winner, which was a true honor.
Here, bring this up a little bit. Yep.
How's that?
Perfect. All right. Yeah.
Hang on. I'm going to get that fixed. You want me to start again?
No, all right, let me just... There we go. Perfect. Just pulling down. Yeah, you're good. You're good.
Okay. So as I mentioned, was honored this year by the NSCA to be the Lifetime Achievement Award winner for 2026.
That's so cool.
But as I said in my my presentation, my speech at the ceremony, it's all about the people that you've worked with over the years and all the people that have done so much for you in your career. It's not my award. It's everybody's award because we all have done this together and we've all supported each other. And obviously, being here at the Perform Better Summit, this is my 20-something year. I lost track of how many years. But it's just an honor every year to come here and present, be part of the Perform Better team with Chris Poirier, Aaron Milani, and the entire team. It's just a really great group of people, and they have done so much for our industry. If anybody deserves Lifetime Achievement Awards, it's this organization.
That's awesome. Yeah, I love to hear, and that's kind of been the sentiment about Perform Better in general is the team.
Right.
So that's cool. That's what a lot of your talk was this weekend. Is about the team around you, and so what makes what are some characteristics or what makes like maybe some what you consider like this is a really good organization, this is a really good team?
Well, I think the thing that makes this team so successful and why they're so great is they're just the empathy and the care they have for people. Just their colleagues, the way they treat people, the way they are to each other, the way they treat everybody who comes to the conference. Whether you're a presenter or an attendee, everybody at this conference feels integrated, connected, and are all part of the same thing. And unfortunately, we lost one of our really close friends and longtime members of Perform Better team, one of the management team members, in Rob Milani. And Rob was the ultimate guy connecting everybody with Chris. He and Chris together made it so that everybody who came to one of these conferences felt integrated, felt connected. And if they saw somebody who wasn't talking to anybody, they would go over and immediately start talking to them. And Erin Milani, Rob's wife, is carrying on that tradition for him as well.
Absolutely. Yeah, and thank you for bringing that up because definitely a void that could not be filled with Rob, but I know the team has come together and really tried to make this year as good as we can in honor of him in many ways. And you mentioned Rob too. I was just off air talking about him with another guy who's they had just to show what level of like the team and the organization they have here is. They had a fire at this place in this gym in Pittsburgh, and one of the coaches was saying, we had the fire and we had some Perform Better equipment, and we got on the phone and talked with Rob, and they were like, we're going to help you as soon as possible, get you up and running as soon as possible, ship the equipment out to them. So just to kind of show this, like, this is not like a big corporate entity. This is hey, we're a family. We're gonna provide that extra over the top level of customer care, but also like, you guys are hurting. We're going to try to help you out in any way we can.
Right.
So.
Well, I mean, the best example I can give you is years ago, I was putting a small facility together for the hospital I was working for, and they didn't have anybody on staff available to come down and put the equipment in, and it was expected to be a really horrific weekend with snow and ice.
Sure.
Chris and Rob, so Chris Boyer, here's the general manager, and his top man drove down together with the equipment.
Yeah.
And the three of us put this gym together. So Chris and Rob and I put the gym together. It just goes to show you, there's no job that's beneath them. There's no task that's beneath them. And that's why the staff is so good, because they see that they led by doing, not by talking about doing things. They actually lead by doing it themselves. And that's what makes this organization so great. And that's why, 1,000 people are here this weekend, because they know these guys don't only just talk the talk, they walk the walk.
Oh, 100%. No, that's really cool. And as far as your talk yesterday, so I know you, the NSCA Lifetime Award for this year, the teamwork. Any other points or bullet points? I know, like maybe like a Spark Notes versions of like any of your points you can give us from your talk.
Sure. So yesterday I spoke about longevity, and people, when they talk about longevity, their thought process is we're talking about people in late adulthood and into their senior years. But really, longevity starts at youth, and really should be something that's integrated through people's life all throughout, from youth on up. As an example, right now it's estimated that in 6 to 12-year-old children, only 4 out of 10 actually play sports. So, that means 60% of the youth population really doesn't have a structured activity base behind them. Sure. And aren't doing anything necessarily that's coordinated by adults and things along that line. So consequently, what we're looking at with what we're doing and presenting and talking about longevity is how we get that to go across from youth all the way up to seniors, but not just with fitness, but also how we do things with nutrition, stress management, work-life balance, and also making sure the rest and recovery is appropriate too, because all of those things need to be integrated together to be successful in helping someone to live a longer and better life.
Totally. So you're looking at it from early age throughout the entire lifespan.
Absolutely.
Cool.
Yeah,
okay.
Absolutely. If we don't do that, the bad part about it is people develop bad habits when they're young, and don't change when they become older. So consequently, you're expecting somebody in their 20s and 30s who never had a structured fitness environment to now all of a sudden start becoming fitness and physically active.
That's funny you mention that, because a lot of habits are started when you're young. Like I have a friend who I work out with often at a CrossFit gym. He's like, the diet's tough because like. Not to put the blame on anybody. It's like my mom would always have the cupboard stuffed with Oreos and this and that when I was young, so I'm just used to that type of food and eating that stuff. And so it's tough to kind of break those habits. But if you can get in there young, you can break that cycle, the generational cycle sometimes.
Right. Well, and kids today they don't necessarily have that avenue of having home dinners anymore.
Right.
A lot of times people are so busy with work and life and things along that line that they don't have the sit down family dinners. I talk to a lot of our kids that we work with in our sports teams that really don't have that structured dinner time in their lives. And unfortunately, electronic devices have become part of dinner. So people are actually sitting there looking at electronic devices while they're eating, which means they're not thinking about what they're eating while they're eating because they're distracted.
Right.
So teaching people how to eat properly, but also how to set the meal up appropriately is really critical.
And then as far as the fitness side of things, anything that you can see as an opportunity for, you said like 4 out of 10 are
not exercising,
or
I'm sorry, are involved in organized sports.
So 6. So how do we get that? How do we flip that? How do we get more kids involved?
Well, you have to have activities that they're going to like.
Sure.
So you're talking 6 to 12-year-olds. So you have to have fun activities. You have to have activities that they're going to enjoy. And like I always say, you know, if you're playing games with kids, nobody's out. Okay.
Yeah,
So if you're playing like a game where you're throwing a ball and somebody gets hit by a ball and they go out of the circle for a minute.
Sure.
What we do with that is if you get hit by a ball and you go out of the circle, do 10 jumping jacks, 10 push-ups, or 10 burpees, and you come right back in.
Right.
So you're never out.
Right.
But you're always active. And then as far as we continue to age and go through the aging process, we're really pushing metabolic training now, where people are doing constant exercise, and that was what my hands-on was all about yesterday.
Yeah.
Was teaching people how to exercise with minimal rest in between and just switching exercises around and doing different body parts so that you can exercise for 45 minutes consecutively where your phone's not anywhere near you and you're not distracted and there's no rest time in between your sets. You're doing everything continuously.
Yeah.
So it's continuous exercise. Burning more calories per unit of time, increasing lean body mass, burning fat.
It's more efficient.
Exactly.
And then a lot of times, like in the gym, like if you're having those like longer, and there's a time and a place for that, obviously, but the longer rest breaks, that's easy phone time.
Exactly. Well, and I talked about a research study that I'm involved with at our hospital. We're doing things with our medical residents.
Yeah.
So looking at their health and well-being and seeing how they're doing with their health and well-being. And that's really important. I mean, I always tell people, hey, if I'm going to the ER at 3 o'clock in the morning, guess who's waiting for me? It's not one of the attendings. It's a medical resident.
Yeah.
So we want to make sure that they're well-trained but also healthy.
Sure,
because, training's one thing, but they got to be healthy. You don't want to walk in there and have a medical resident half asleep if you got something serious going on in your life.
Yeah.
So our goal is to make sure our medical residents are healthier, and that's what our hospital system works on, is we work on helping our physicians to get better from a health perspective as the longer they're with us so that their health is improving as opposed to going backwards.
Gotcha. And as far as integrating that into the hospital, how is that done? Are you guys providing mostly as like educational resources for them, or?
So we have 5 medically based fitness centers in our hospital system, located strategically throughout our network. But we also have a virtual platform that we give them.
Cool.
So they can log on to a virtual platform. It's 3 o'clock in the morning and you want to do a metabolic workout, we have one.
Cool.
So they can do that. And we try to make it as minimal equipment as possible. So even if they don't have a set of dumbbells, they can fill 2 water jugs with water and do the whole workout right there.
Sure.
So the idea behind what we're trying to accomplish and what we're trying to do is there's no excuses. We want to give you the resources you need. And then our hospital has worked on improving our lounges for our medical residents with better foods, healthier foods, better choices for them, giving discounts on salad bars and things like that if they go to our cafeterias. So we're trying to make sure that they can make the proper choices nutritionally, and then teaching them the importance of rest and recovery, how they rest and recover, making sure their lounge areas, if there are in a lounge area, is more comfortable and better rest, eliminating distractions like TVs and things like that in those lounge areas so they actually rest and don't focus on that. And then also helping them with stress management skills and coping skills. How do you cope with the stress of what you do every day? Because it's a stressful job. People's lives are at stake and you want to do a good job for those people. So teaching them how to do all the right things.
Are nurses involved in this?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because, and a lot of people don't understand this. The most unhealthy population in a hospital system is always nurses. Because what people don't realize is a lot of the times they're working long shifts.
Yeah.
They're the primary caregivers in a lot of the cases at homes.
Yeah.
Not every case, but a lot of cases at homes. They're the primary caregivers.
Yeah.
So they're worried about their family, their job, taking care of others. They don't spend time for taking care of themselves.
Right.
So we need to make sure we give those resources to them, which we do.
Awesome.
And, whether they get up at 5 o'clock in the morning and do a workout at home, or, we've made sure our gyms are open early enough in the morning that they're going to do it before their shifts. They can get to our gyms, shower, and then go to work.
Very cool. Okay, yeah. So healthier doctors, healthier nurses, healthier patients.
Healthier community.
Healthier community. There we go.
We want to make our whole community healthy. I mean, we do programs for our senior population. Our fitness centers have been the best in the Valley for the past 12 years.
Cool.
And the reason is, first of all, we put the best equipment in. We perform better equipment
there
in.
There
all
you
of our gyms. So actually, every morning when I get to our facility in West End, which is our premier center, I work out there at 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning.
Nice.
And every day I walk in, I'm the first one in the doors, and the first thing I think about is Rob. Because as you walk in the doors, I know he helped me build that facility and design it from day one. So he's a constant reminder every day when I see the Perform Better labels on all the equipment. I know that Rob's there with us.
That's so awesome. Very, very cool. Well, hey, John, thank you so much. Appreciate you being on. And, yeah, thank you so much.
Matt, my pleasure. And we did say we'd talk about Kevin before we quit.
Yes, let's give me.
So I got to give you a Kevin
yes,
story.
Please. Yes, please.
Several years ago, Kevin called me. He's driving in his car. As Kevin always does, he's doing 14 things at one time. He calls me in his car and he said, "Hey, dude, I got a question for you." He goes, "Would you be able to help me out with a UFC fighter?" And
okay.
I said, "Sure." I said, "What do you need help with?" And he goes, "Well, I need someone to train her and help her out. She's moving to your neck of the woods. She's going to be about 45 minutes away from you, and wants to come down and train with you. Would you be willing to help her out?" And I said to Kevin, I said, "Absolutely." So Claudia Gadelia, I had the privilege of training her for about a 6-month period of time before she moved to Vegas. And I still remember Kevin calling me and saying, "Dude, you're rocking it." And he's driving in his car as he's telling me this, and I'm laughing, and I'm going, "Are you driving a car and talking to me at the same time?" He goes, "Yeah." He goes, "You know me, I multitask." So I love Kevin. Just a great guy. And,
he's great.
He does 15 things at one time, and he's a role model for how to multitask in life.
Absolutely.
So good guy. So I'm glad I got to say a few kind words about him. But in closing, I just want to say, Chris, Aaron, Jamie, Harvey, the entire Perform Better team and all they do for us. There's a new group of guys coming up, David, Bobby.
Yeah.
They're all great. They're just super people. So I can't thank all of them enough. They just do such amazing things for all of us in the fitness industry, and this summit's a perfect example. I mean, where else do you go where everybody can be like this together? They have a nightly thing where you can all sit down with each other and talk. It's just amazing.
Yeah.
It's nice. It's a great company. It's great colleagues, and everybody walks away being friends.
Absolutely.
So
very cool. Well said. Thank you, John.
Matt, my pleasure. It's good
awesome.
to talk to you.
You too. Thank you. All right.
Which side do I put the headphones on?
Either one. Whatever. If you're a righty or a lefty, or
oh, that's clean.
Isn't it nice?
Nice.
These are like the nice broadcast studio headphones.
Sweet.
Cuts out all the noise, so the audio comes out perfect.
I like that.
Yeah. It's a little more editing on the back end, but it's all right. Yeah, we're good. We're recording. That red light's on. So what's going on, guys? Dr. Matt here, host of the Rocks Lab and Roadie Strength podcast. We got Kevin Brochu on today from
What's
Perform
up?
Better.
How are you?
Doing good. So love to have you on today because you are a lot of times the man behind the scenes doing a lot of the stuff with marketing and among other things at Perform Better. So I guess give a quick intro and kind of like who you are and what your roles are here at Perform Better.
So I'm Kevin Brochu. My role here started out kind of focused on helping with some of the marketing and helping out with some of the social media so that we could kind of push the brand and get a little bit more brand presence out there, away from our traditional like strengthening and conditioning facilities, strengthening and conditioning coaches and what have you, and working with Rob to try and evolve the brand and start to look at these different silos or business units that we could potentially go after. Unfortunately, with Rob's passing last year, it kind of threw things somewhat into chaos, and it really started to change kind of the needs and the demands of what we're looking to do. So when we were talking with Rob last year, Hyrox was a big thing, and really going towards connecting with Hyrox and looking at how Perform Better could get involved with Hyrox, how we could get involved with distribution of the equipment, with Center, and that was going to be a really big focus, that Rob and I were going to tackle. Now it's just myself and Marissa, tackling it and trying to grow that and trying to make a presence for the brand within, the Hyrox community, but then also fitness outside of that.
Sure.
So whether or not we've done Faces of Fitness, which is a huge, fitness activation that's in Chicago, in Miami Beach. They had in Chicago recently about 14,000 people that are fitness enthusiasts. So they do yoga, strengthening and conditioning, running, Hyrox, DECA, Spartan, whatever. They all were centered around, fitness, and they were in one spot at one point in time to go through fitness activation. That's a little different than what we've done in the past at Perform Better. It's usually traditional, trade shows or conferences much like this. So it's kind of trying to diversify the portfolio of what we do.
Sure.
So what we're working on right now is trying to get a little bit more diversity in what we're actually doing within the fitness world.
Sure.
In Hyrox fitness, racing, fitness experiences is unique and different for what we've done in the past. So that's really what I'm focused on right now. pushing the brand, pushing Perform Better, growing the name, within the states, and then really starting to target almost like that home consumer, and that consumer that we may have never touched on in the past.
Yeah, that's really cool. And I know even just recently you guys have done a lot of traveling, and I've joined you in some of them.
Yeah.
High Rocks Miami,
Yep.
High Rocks DC. You guys are at Harpoon Fit Fest recently up in Boston. Ritual.
Yep.
Ritual. Any others you guys went to recently?
So Face of Fitness, Ritual, Home Gym Con.
I heard that was a good one.
That was unique. We've done, many High Rocks events. We're doing Road to High Rocks in a couple weeks.
That looks cool.
That is going to be pretty awesome.
Yeah.
So that's with Education First.
Yep.
Which is a huge education company, digital company, and they're doing it at their HQ. So that's going to be a good opportunity for us to be involved with that. We're doing a lot of different things. Boston Fire Department is doing a Red Bull fitness challenge amongst all the stations, so we're providing the equipment for that.
Sweet.
And it's just getting people to touch and feel our equipment in a manner that they typically haven't. A lot of people associate us with like, hey, you're that band company, or I've seen your foam roller, at my physical therapy clinic.
Right.
So then getting them outside of just looking at us as a band company or a foam roller company, and hey, you guys sell bikes, you guys do flooring, you do installs. Josh, who you talked to the other day, we just did the Patriots.
Yeah.
So if you look at the Patriots' new facility, the strength and conditioning portion of it, it's gorgeous.
Yeah.
That's Perform Better.
It's top of the line.
Yeah. He's doing Michigan. So they're in the process right now of doing the Michigan install.
Yeah.
So people don't understand or see that side of things. They just associate it with like, oh, you're that band or foam roller company.
Right.
We're trying to look at showing what we do.
Right.
The company was built as a customer service-based business.
Sure.
So Bill Falk, Eric Falk, Chris Poria. Historically, it's been really centered on providing superior equipment, but also superior customer service.
Yeah.
That isn't very typical nowadays.
No.
If you need to call Perform Better, you're going to get a human being. You're going to get somebody that's going to help you, somebody that's going to give you the time and the energy to either get your facility set up, get you the best equipment that you physically need, and or solve a problem.
Sure.
I think one of the things that I was a customer, I worked for Perform Better. I left Perform Better. I came back to Perform Better. But throughout that course of time, I knew I always pick up the phone and be like, yo, Rob, MedBall, I'm having some issues with it.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. I'll get it to you tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'll get you a new one. Or, I'll get on that. And it was just boom. It was quick.
Sure.
And I would always sell Perform Better on the fact that, the equipment, maybe it's a little bit more expensive than what you can find somewhere else.
Sure.
Customer service, or if you have something go wrong with that equipment, good luck having somebody be able to, remedy your problem or get a replacement for that. And that's where Rob was phenomenal, and the staff is phenomenal in terms of the customer service side of things.
They stand behind their product.
Yeah, 100% so. 100% so. Like, there will never be an issue that they will not do anything in their power to resolve.
Yeah.
And that's huge.
And that was like when I had the podcast with Rob almost, a year and a half ago now.
A year and a half ago,
yeah. And that was one of the things he was like, every piece of equipment we make, like whether we're testing barbells out in the parking lot or we're sourcing materials from this factory or whatever, it's like we want to make sure every product is perfect.
Yeah.
And if it's not, we're going to make sure we can remedy it.
No.
Yeah.
There was a funny story one time. I remember Rob was doing an install at a competitive athlete training zone up in Needham, and they installed the turf, and it was infill turf with the rubber, pellets and whatnot.
Sure.
And there was a seam that was coming up. It didn't adhere well, and Rob's sitting in there with a vacuum, pulling the turf back, gluing it, sweating. I mean, if you knew Rob was a massive human being, and he's just dripping sweat. He's sitting there. He's got like the plumber's crack and whatnot. And I come up and back of him, and he's like, "I'm gonna get it done. I'm gonna get it done." And it was just like that level of service. Like, he drives up there. There's a problem. He mitigates it. He fixes it, and he's gonna solve it. And that's trickled down throughout everybody in the company. Like, if there's an issue, if there's a problem, if you need something service related, like, we will get it handled for you.
Well, that's like we just had John Graham on.
Yep.
And he was saying that when they were building some of the stuff out for I think it was at St. Luke's, or it might have been somewhere else. Yeah. He said they were I don't know if it was a storm or something like happened where they needed something done pretty quickly. It was Rob and Chris.
Yeah.
That hand delivered.
Yeah.
And then they said that between the three of them, they built that. They built that out.
Yeah.
He's like, that doesn't happen at different. Like,
no.
You're not gonna get the two guys who are basically running the place to come and help build the stuff out for you.
Yeah, and I think that's a good thing. Is like everybody does everything to get it done. Like if you've seen here at the summit, like Chris is sitting there, grinding it out, getting everything set up. Aaron's setting it up.
Yeah.
Like everybody's working to get the ultimate goal, which is great customer experience. They get great education. Everybody's treated with the absolute utmost, professionalism and respect, and the experience here is bar none.
So tell me a little bit about because I know the decision to like really push into Hyrox was kind of like it was calculated.
Mm-hmm.
Like let's see kind of like where how this can go. So tell me a little bit about that.
So Hyrox is probably the most similar thing that I've seen to the CrossFit surge.
Sure.
So prior to Reebok, prior to Perform Better, I was at Reebok for a number of years in the marketing side. So I was involved in signing the CrossFit partnership, the UFC partnership, Spartan. So you could see kind of that trajectory of Hyrox kind of taking off like CrossFit did, whereas CrossFit took off in the U.S. and grew outside of the U.S. Hyrox took off outside of the U.S. and is now exploding inside the U.S.
Exploding.
So for us, it was a huge opportunity of like, I've seen this pattern before.
Yeah.
And you've seen a similar trajectory with CrossFit. We need to look at Hyrox as it is the next big thing. The biggest thing with Hyrox is anybody can do it. There's a very, very low barrier of entry.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need any specialization. You don't need to know how to Olympic lift. You don't need to know how to do gymnastics. And there's those elements that made CrossFit a little bit more challenging for the average Joe or the average Jane. Whereas Hyrox, most gyms can implement some type of programming to get people ready for running, whether or not it's DC coming up in a couple weeks or Boston in another month. Anybody can do it. And that was the unique thing.
Yeah.
We already have the products in place. We already have the coaching and the access to these experts that could get you from, point A is where you start, point B is where you want to be, and you've got that big undulating journey in the middle. We have the people, we have the equipment, and we have the ability to get you to that ultimate goal. So it was a huge opportunity for us, and we could get into it very easy. It wasn't like we were all of a sudden going in, doing like Cirque du Soleil or something. It fit within what we were physically doing as a business. And it was great. And we already connect with a lot of these gym owners. The gym owners are looking for new, opportunities for revenue inside of their box or their gym, or they're looking for new opportunities to kind of refresh their brand or refresh their training. This gives them the opportunity to do it. So when we were talking about it, probably I think it was last April or May, I was just like, Rob, we gotta take a look at this because this is going to be a huge opportunity. Started kicking the tires on it, and then we started talking with the center staff about possibly distributing the equipment and seeing what that looked like. And then I remember when we went up to Boston, and it was Rob, myself, Marissa, and Bob from our team. And we walked out onto the elevator, and I was just like, "Holy fuck!"
That was my response too. And the first time I saw it.
Yeah, because you're elevated up above, and then there were, I would say there were probably 10 to 15,000 people down there, and I was just like, "Oh my god!" And then I go, I'm like, "Rob, who do you know here?" And he's like, "Yeah, nobody." And I was like, "Exactly." And that's the thing is like he could walk into any conference, any show like this, and hey Rob. So, and it just kind of showed like here's a whole market that we are physically not in communication with. They don't know us as a brand, they don't know what we do, and they don't know how we can help them. So that was the biggest thing, is integrating into that community to show them who we are, what we do, how we can help them. There's gyms, there's big box gyms, there's little mom and pop boutique stores. There's that person that's working out in their garage, or they have an online coach. Was a huge opportunity for us market-wise.
And like you said, it's not like you're doing Cirque du Soleil. It's like it was almost like a parallel highway of like of what they were doing from a fitness perspective. All you had to do was like, all right, let's just step over into this lane. We'll help these guys out a little bit. It wasn't a massive.
No,
you guys
it's not
already
a
make
massive change.
sleds, wall balls, kettlebells.
It's kind of like coaching, right? So if I was coaching, like me as a coach, I'm not that like let's go rah rah rah. You know, breakdown. Like there are those individuals like a Todd Durkin that's what they do. That's who they are as a person, as a coach. That's not my style. So I do things a little differently. For us going into the Hyrox space, it wasn't like this drastic change. We
Yeah.
weren't doing something completely outside of what we typically do.
Right.
It's fitness, it's functional, it's impacting, the individuals that we see in the facilities that we deal with on a daily basis.
Yeah.
So it was a huge, huge opportunity for us.
Well, I think what we found, which was somewhat surprising, was by going to some of these events and talking to some of the people and shooting content and stuff there, was that some of these people were, initially looking at all right, this is a competitive thing for competitive people, but not always so much. We ended up finding and talking to a lot of people who were like, yeah, I signed up for this event and I lost 30 pounds.
Yeah.
Or like, hey, I have a kid, family, this like that, or maybe I'm like 60 years old and I did this event and it was like really life changing for me. So it was cool to kind of see that people were using this as an avenue of like, hey, this is a date on my calendar. It gives me something to train for. And
in Miami Beach, we saw the mother and daughter. Which this woman did not look like this girl's mom. Like, I thought they were sisters.
Right.
I was like,
right.
That was amazing.
Yeah.
So you saw that. You've seen, I've judged a couple races, and you've seen incredible stories with some of the adaptives.
Yeah.
And some of the you see mothers and sons, racing, fathers, daughters. You see so many different, ability levels.
Sure.
There are always going to be those 1%ers like the Grayson Kilgore or the Katie Duke or whatnot that want to go and just crush it.
Yeah.
Then you got the others that are like, I am literally just going to do this race. I want to complete it. I want to finish it, and then I'm going to build on my next time.
Yeah.
If you look at Moms Who High Rocks, Natalie, we met Natalie at just a simple post. She put out like a sarcastic post that, like, I finally heard from Puma, and she did like a thing, and it said, Puma, please stop following us or please stop bothering us. Like it was just a sarcastic post.
Yeah.
But that's how we reached out to Natalie, and we've had a really, really great
cool.
experience with working with Moms Who High Rocks,
Yeah.
getting her set up, and then seeing her journey.
Yeah.
She's a mom. She's got a couple kids, and this is her sport. This
Yeah.
is her thing.
Yeah.
This is her, her focus and her drive and her passion. She's becoming better. She's becoming more fit.
Yeah.
And it's something for her to achieve and attain these ultimate goals. That's the best thing that we've seen.
Yeah.
Is the stories. There was in I think it was Washington D.C. There was a husband and wife. I remember seeing them at the sled push, and the wife would push it maybe about 2 or 3 yards, and then the husband would come in and push a bulk of it.
Yeah.
And they were probably in their late 60s, early 70s.
Yeah.
And then I finished judging, and then I went at the end. You have to go to wall balls. So like they filter everybody to wall balls when you're done judging to help out. So then they were at wall balls when I finished, and I was watching them specifically, and the woman was doing the wall balls, and she was doing like maybe 1 or 2.
Yeah.
And then the husband coming into like 10 or 12. And they finished their 100. They held hands. They ran across the line. And their time was like 2 hours and 34 minutes.
Yeah.
But they did it.
Yeah.
They finished it.
Yeah.
She was ecstatic. She was so excited that they finished it, and it was just really, really cool to see. That was more motivational for me than seeing somebody, 55 minutes or 56 minutes. That's great. It's wildly impressive, but there's so many other stories of those 2 hours or the person that finishes it the first time, and that's what's really cool about High Rocks.
Yeah. It's gotten people excited to pursue a fitness avenue that they may not have. Like I was talking to John Graham, he's like, how his big talk was partially about like how can we make our communities fitter, and I think that's what High Rocks has done for a lot of people. Is like it gives them an avenue to pursue fitness where they may otherwise have not have done that.
Well, with and you see like Ritual, you touch upon Ritual Boston, so Batista Boot Camp, and Ritual Boston. They had, in the winter, Marissa and I were doing those shows. They would have 130 people come to the pickleball court over at Pickle Boss, and they do a workout. They do Pilates, they do a boot camp, they do a yoga, and it was amazing. Now, as they open up in the summer, they're getting 400, 500 people for this one event, at Park City, and it's just amazing because you see all types, all shapes, young, old, male, female, fit, unfit, and it's unreal.
Yeah.
And that's the cool thing now is all of the fitness activations that we're doing, all of the events that we're seeing are just transformative.
Yeah.
And you see everybody coming together, and fitness is being like that's their That's their thing.
Yeah, the in-person events aren't going away.
No,
yeah.
no.
The
And
run clubs are
well,
big. The events are big. Everything.
If you looked at during COVID, like when we had the gyms and the gyms were closing and whatnot, and
Yeah.
everybody thought that it was going to go to specifically
Virtual
virtual
or-
and whatnot, and there's just no way, because
Yeah.
there's a difference. Like you see it here with like the challenge and everything like that. We're getting people to do these challenges, the wall ball or the bike sprint or whatnot.
Yeah.
They probably wouldn't do on their own.
Sure.
But now
Yeah.
they're getting others like yourself or the other Matt,
Yeah.
you know, hey, like try it, you know, and they do it. And then when they do it, they're like, holy shit. Like, I didn't think I could do that.
Right.
Like they're dying, but
Yeah.
they do something that they probably wouldn't do on their own if they
Sure.
were just sitting in their house, in their basement, like, yeah, no, I don't want to do it.
Right.
There's something very, very unique and special about going to a facility,
Yeah.
regardless of what it is, and being with other individuals that have the same passion, the same drive, and want to become better.
Sure.
And then they see, all right, Matt's doing that, I'm going to try a little harder. Or Matt just did that, I think I could do that if Matt can do it. And
Yeah, yeah.
That's in-person wise fitness. It's the best thing ever.
Yeah.
And seeing people improve and get better is just incredible.
Oh, 100%. Get that little competitive drive sometimes too.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you get that score. Let me see if I can beat him.
Well, it's good too. Right? I remember when I would coach, I would sometimes train with some of the athletes I would train.
Yeah.
And these kids were like 15, 16, 17 years old, and I would beat them in something. I'm like, old man still got it, you know? And that was a good thing, because as you get older, you know, you're like, all right, I
Yeah.
still got it. And then when you train by yourself, like my wife and I will train at our home, and we might, you know, not have anybody else that we're training with.
Yeah.
But it's good then when we get mixed in with some other people, like, all right, we're doing pretty
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
We're doing pretty good. So I like that.
All right. Well, one more question. I'll
Yeah.
I'll wrap you up with a favorite thing about the summit, the Perform Better Summit.
Just the people.
Yeah.
Like the people. There was a woman that was here last year that did our High Rock Sim, and she just walked by, and I was like, you doing burpees again this year? And she just looked at me. She didn't recognize me. And she's like, how do I know you? I was like, you were doing the burpees last year during the High Rock Sim. And she's like, you remember me? I'm like,
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, you were crushing it.
Yeah.
I think that personal connection with a lot of people. There's a husband and wife here that I've told you got to somehow try and get on.
Yeah.
I saw them when they were first here. I think you said they were at like 28
They've
shows.
been to 28 summits. Yeah.
Yeah. So I saw them literally like the first summit that I ever came to.
Wow.
And then I saw them the other day here, and I haven't seen them probably in like 15 years.
Sure.
And
Yeah.
they're still here. I was like, oh my God. Like,
Yeah.
it's crazy.
That's so cool.
You don't get that many places. You don't get that relationship building. And a lot of the people have been here year after year after year, and they become really part of the Perform Better family.
That's super
And that's
cool.
what makes this different.
That's super cool. Awesome. Well, hey.
Sweet.
Kevin, thank
Thanks,
you so
man.
much.
Appreciate
it. was
it.
great. Roadie Strength signing off.
Later.
All right. When you're ready.
Dr. Matt here with Roadie Strength Podcast, sitting with my new friend Jenna.
My dog just farted.
And her dog just farted.
Whew.
All right, Jenna. So
Keeping us on our toes.
let's do a little elevator pitch here. Tell us a little about yourself.
So I am a physical therapist, strength coach. I like to take people from debilitated injury and I can't find help anywhere else to basically elite athletes. So fixing their coordination, helping them tap into potential in their own body, and then making them independent so they don't need me.
Very cool. Very cool.
It's a lot of fun.
I saw that you gave a talk yesterday or Thursday, depending on the schedule, if I were looking at it correctly, here at the good
Yesterday.
old Perform Better Summit. Do you mind going into what that talk was about?
So everything I do is related to optimizing human performance. And I talked about just your foundational health and how we kind of always throw in things that are extreme, and I'm very anti-fad. Not that you can't introduce new things, but I like to do things based on research and science and just clinical data, and starting with the basics. So before jumping into all these other things, if you're not solidifying your basics and your foundational health, then you're just stressing your system out more. So just kind of honing that in, and then also speaking to the fact that we all care about people, and that's one of the biggest changers of someone's injury, their hypersensitivity. I can help you if you feel you're cared about. So love is really big in what I do, and that's why I have little Miss Zoe here. She brings the love. But yeah, it's very important. And as trainers, we kind of, minimize that a little bit. We don't think it's important, but it's one of the most important things that you can have as far as qualities behind what you do.
Fair enough. Going back on what you said before, do you mind giving an example of the first part of what you were talking about.
Which first part?
So when you were saying that you like to,
what was I saying?
You like to maximize efficiency in bringing people from, where they are to where they want to be. However, you do not like fads and things of this zone. Can you kind of give me an example of what you mean about that?
So, you see trendy things online, and, a lot of people are coming up to me, what do you think of peptides? And I'm like, you don't sleep, you don't hydrate, you don't breathe. You're shallow breathing, you're holding your breath right now. Your body can't even oxygenate itself, and then you're going to stab yourself with a synthetic hormone. It's just starting with order of operations that's going to make the big difference, because I like to push the needle as far as it can go with one thing before. Because imagine if I really stress doing blood work, seeing where you are foundationally, doing a movement assessment. Really love Gray Cook, FMS, SFMA, but I like to get objective data, see where you are foundationally. If you're, deficient in minerals, and then you're over here, adding peptides in or adding in cryo, or, it's not going to do as much for you. So I like for people to understand, I'm like, it's like building a house with rotted wood. Fix your wood first, then you can, add in the decorations. So when you go the other way, you're just working against yourself, and you're expending more energy just doing the same thing, and expending energy to get less potential and to work less as far as performance, recovery. Even I talk about relationships too, because your personality is influenced by the state of your nervous system. So, you can be impulsive or an a-hole, and that could be because your body's scared, it feels threatened, and you're not living a solid foundation.
Fair enough. Did you also provide a hands-on here?
I did.
And what was the hands-on about?
I do a lot with breathing.
Okay.
And so, the body's very resilient, and, I used to do CrossFit twice a day, and I could lift really heavy, but if you start to breathe, you realize that you're not lifting as well as you can. And so I always say the body's a lazy con artist. The brain wants to stay comfortable and be lazy and take the path of least resistance. And I try to explore that and find the hardest path, and then make sure that I'm moving with quality. But I took people through some breath work and some, deep exhales, and then we went through different movements before and after. And it's crazy to see how different everyone was after one exhale. Your coordination, you're not sloppy. And so, instead of jumping into just extreme workouts, let's, start with quality.
Very cool. How long have you been coming to this Perform Better Summit?
So I've been coming to the summits for, I say 2011, 2012.
Okay.
Yeah, I've known the crew for a long time.
For a good chunk.
Yeah, I used to work with some of the vendors, and then I made my own product. I have a little trigger point tool, and I remember telling Chris, I'm going to speak for you guys one day, and I was still in grad school. And then I coached a bunch of NASCAR teams outside of grad school and motocross. So I just remember I applied, and Chris was like, let's do it. So
that's very cool.
Yeah, it's fun.
So someone that's been coming for a good chunk, as we just kind of described, what's your favorite part of the summit?
I think it's the people. So Chris is very big on, and just, all the Perform Better employees, they care, just our profession cares. So networking with people, these relationships are everything. And you never know, it's crazy how many people know one another, and you never know, who you're going to rely on later in life and how you guys can help one another. And I just think the relationships, the networking is one of the biggest parts of this. And also just learning from other presenters, supporting other trainers. I think it's important. I tell everyone we're a rare breed because, our motivation behind what we do, yes, it's money, but it's also we care about people. So that's rare. I live in Beverly Hills in LA right now, so it's rare to find that, and I think we need to recognize that because it's important. And when you lead with love and you lead with the person's best interest, you could take people further than they ever thought, and then you can also just you'll make money. You just need to. Yeah, I just think it's beautiful to recognize that, and it's important to bring that out in people and just keep those relationships.
Fair enough. Okay. And last but most fun question: since coming here to Providence, what is your favorite part? And why?
I love watching Zoe, my dog, go up and give love to everyone. She's a very loving dog, and just seeing everyone light up. But it's also just looking at the different presenters, my friends speak, watching them shine. It's a lot of fun. And just being able to see everyone again. And it's funny because I used to work for a gym in Chicago. I'm from Illinois, and one of my first bosses is here, and so I haven't seen her in like 20 years. And so it's just these relationships are for life, and it's just good to see everyone and see all the new technologies and yeah, just be here and learn from people.
It's very cool. All right. Well, thank you for your time, Jenna.
Of course.
I'm glad you're going to hop on the pod with us. And we'll have to see you soon.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Of course.
We should have made fun of Kevin more.
We should have. We'll do another one just making fun of Kevin.
Just making fun of Kevin. Look at him in his sloppy posture.
Totally. From one PT to another. That's super fun.
That's not good for your health.
Yeah, not at all. Not at all. Can't breathe in that position, dude.
Yeah, definitely. Speaking of not breathing.
All right, Jenna, thanks so much.
I appreciate you guys.
Kevin got away easy on that one.
He did.
Sweet. All right, we're good. Oh, let me hand you these. There you go. All right, Roadie Strength Podcast. We are back on. Give us a. Grab that. Thank you, sir. All right. So give us a brief introduction. Tell us who you are, what you do.
My name is Alan Cosgrove. I'm the owner of Results Fitness, which is out in Southern California, a town called Santa Clarita. We've been open for 26 years. So what I do is I coach my members. I help other businesses in the fitness business come. And this is my 22nd, 23rd year on the Perform Better Tour. So
nice.
That's why I'm back in Providence again. Good to see you again.
Hey, yes. Bring it back for round 2.
my annual appearance.
Yes, love that. Yeah, we loved having you on. We had a great conversation last time. So excited to bring you back on today. Some of the stuff, well, you spoke yesterday.
Yep.
So tell us a little bit about what you spoke about yesterday.
So what I talked about is people don't realize this in fitness, but they understand it in physical therapy. If you're a good physical therapist and someone comes to you for knee rehab, at some point you discharge them because you're good.
Yeah.
People don't see that in fitness. It's sometimes someone comes to lose a certain amount of body fat, build a certain amount of muscle, and when you do that and you're successful, they sometimes leave because they're happy. Because at some point, if your fees are you're going after an affluent market or your fees are a little higher, paying that money for maintenance doesn't make any sense.
Sure.
It's like continuing to pay your physical therapist $300 a month to maintain your knee. People may not do that.
Sure.
So I think in the gym business, we have to graduate clients to what I call performance goals, to create these general pop clients to become athletes. And I used to talk about this in terms of obstacle course racing and 5Ks. I think fitness racing is the hottest thing right now. I've never seen anything bigger than this, and I put DECA and Hyrox in that statement. And there's other players coming in right now, but they're the big. Hyrox is the number one. DECA is one of the big two players. The nice thing for trainers is you understand fitness.
Sure.
You can train someone for this. You'll need to learn some other things, but it's not out of your skill set.
Right.
Right. And I've opened in 2000. The first CrossFit affiliate was about 2003. So I've seen that come. I saw MMA when it was called No Holds Barred Fighting.
Right.
I saw that come. I saw obstacle course racing or Spartans Tough Mudders when it was called Mud Runs.
Yeah.
I've seen the growth of these things. I've never seen anything as big as this. This is the biggest thing I've ever seen. And if you're a fitness trainer or if you're a fitness enthusiast and you want to try this out, like, I highly recommend that you find coaching to help you to make it safely and effective. And if you're a fitness trainer watching this, I highly recommend that you don't ignore this. This thing is huge.
It's an interesting point you made because I haven't heard that before, but now that you said it, I see it where, like, you take a Gen Pop person, and like you said, you've been working with them with personal training, and you hit a point that you're like, all right, what's next?
Yeah.
And then easy answer is like, well, let's sign up for this competition.
Yes.
Yeah. It's like,
well, I've got one client, an example. She hired me to change her, like, physically, her body physically, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And we achieved it because I'm good at what I do.
Yeah,
but at that point, I'm looking at this lady who's a married mother of 3, happily married. The part is she's also was a certified personal trainer at one point, and she's a degree in kinesiology, and she worked for a little while for one of my colleagues on the Perform Better Tour. Yeah. And she's got a badass home gym that Perform Better put together.
Yeah.
Why would she pay my fees to maintain this body? She's very happy.
Sure,
Why would she maintain that? Well, she now changed with me because she competes in Hyrox and DECA.
Sure.
Right? I just got a text from her today. She's done a DECA mile and had a pretty good time.
That's awesome.
So they're graduating to the next level.
Right.
It's like the aesthetics stay.
Yeah.
She maintains, but now she needs another goal, another challenge.
Well, does that kind of go into the whole kind of like grow or die mindset? Like, nobody really wants to really maintain. I don't think. I think you always probably want to somewhat continuously improve, right?
Well, it was funny. My colleague Frank Nash, he talked earlier, and he said if you think about general fitness, today's world, right?
Yeah.
So back in the day, you see a hunter goes out and he catches a deer and he's walking back to the village, and then there's a blacksmith working on his blacksmith stuff, right?
Yeah.
And as you're walking back to the village, the blacksmith comes out of his shop and he starts running around his building.
Yeah.
And he stops and does 50 push-ups and runs around his building and does squats. You put that's a crazy guy. You go, what is he doing? Let's put him away, right? So there's a point that there's an end to general fitness, and I'm not saying maintenance is bad, but I think anytime you add direction to something, you improve results.
Right.
And I think it's just when you can take a client and you change their identity to they become an athlete, they'll stay with you for life.
Yeah.
Right. They're going to change. So it's just and the nice thing is it's like obstacle course racing has gotten complex. You're going to need to understand certain monkey bar techniques and crazy things. It starts to not just be fitness.
Right. Right.
Fitness racing is
fitness.
Like you can understand it, and these things are. The also thing to point out, there was an increased search on Google last year for about 500% for high rocks training, not races, high rocks training.
Wow.
And ClassPass, which is a thing that gyms use to get drop-ins.
Yeah.
There was a 400% increase in people looking for high rocks classes. People are looking for instruction.
Yeah.
It's growing so fast. People are looking for help to do this, and I think it's a very fun market for gyms, and it's fun to train for these things. Right? You get a score, and it's globally standardized. You know where you stand in the world. Like you can't compare the New York City or the London Marathon, other than the distances. The courses are different. The climate's different.
Right.
These things you can compare, and it's just I found it very exciting. It's like I think London did. Their third year did 40,000 at a High Rocks event.
Wow.
And and the 150th year of the London Marathon, they did 50,000.
That's pretty similar numbers.
It's so cool. It's so cool to see.
Oh, that's awesome.
To your point, it's like it's grow or die. Like what is the next thing on the horizon? And I think there's a guy on my lecture yesterday, and he told me he took somebody down 75 pounds in weight and rehabbed her rotator cuff. And she left him to join a DECA gym because she wanted to do a DECA race because she didn't see him as that solution.
Right.
That's on him.
Right.
He's doing, and he may be very happy with that.
Sure.
Your job, I think, is to find your client's next goal.
Yes.
I think that's part of your job as a coach, is to find what's next and have maybe every 90 days you do a goal reset. And
and I think that's a good point, because I don't think goals should be exciting, something that you want to achieve. I don't feel like very many people get excited or I want to achieve maintenance.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I was doing a goal setting exercise with a young coach yesterday, and it was hard because he was role playing. He wasn't giving his real goals.
Yeah.
But I said, all right, what happens when you get the abs? What's the first thing you're going to do if this is the goal? What's what clothes you're going to wear? Where are you going to go? And he's like, no, nothing. I go, then that's not a goal, right? Because you don't really care, because you can do nothing right now.
Right.
But I'm like, if you're gonna, I can tell you, our clients that have done any of these races, their family comes to watch.
Yeah.
This is a family event to watch it, and the first thing they'll ask me about their time is that good? Where do I stand? And I can remember, I had one client, she did I think it was an obstacle course race, and she entered the open division.
Yeah.
And she goes, where did I place? And I goes, hey, you were actually in the top 10 in the open division. And in my head starts counting 20, 19, 18. I made it to 15 seconds, then the message comes through. Where would that have put me in the competitive division? She's already future paced herself to compete again. He goes, you could be a competitor at this, but we're going to have to do some work.
Right.
There's some things we're going to work on, and I'm excited to help you with it. But
that's cool.
Their identity changes because the sports competition in and of itself gets people to think of the next thing.
Right.
They already think of their next event, right? Their next one. Because you're never, if you get a PR, you're like, I can still do more.
Yeah.
And if you don't get a PR, I gotta get this in, right? And it's just like if you've done fitness training for any length of time, like I said, we've been open 26 years. Goal-oriented training, particularly as regards performance, those people are much more driven. They're much more motivated, and they're much more excited. And as a business point of view too, some of these races are quite expensive.
Sure.
So
it
attracts a affluent clientele who can easily afford fees for gym.
Sure.
So it's this isn't necessarily just garage gym owners. It's people who are looking to be very serious about that. Like, it's one of the most exciting things I've seen.
Yeah, no, it is really cool, and that's cool that you said that, because you've seen the CrossFit, you've seen the Spartan, the Decas, the mud runs,
and all of those I found were exciting.
Sure,
I've never seen anything like this. This is incredible. Right, so.
I want to ask you real quick about because you have some, and I asked you about this last time too, like the Olympics.
Mm-hmm.
So some of the obstacle course races in the Olympics, where do you see that going?
So it's very hard to add a sport to the Olympics.
Yeah.
It's quite easier to add a discipline.
Sure.
So swimming is not in the Olympics as a sport. It is in as a discipline under aquatics.
Sure.
BMX is under cycling.
Sure.
Right. We added 3-on-3 basketball under basketball.
Sure.
Right. We've added mixed relay triathlon under triathlon.
Okay.
So obstacle course racing is now in as the 5th event in pentathlon.
Okay.
So now it will be in the Olympics just with that section in 2028 in LA. Now that can be brought out as a separate event attached to that. Now, with that in mind, there's a whole bunch of politics attached to how this happens, right?
Yeah.
But that's how this gets into the Olympics. It will appear, and it's head-to-head kind of short course sprint OCR will be the first thing.
Cool.
The pentathlon have also recognized adventure racing, like the Eco Challenge type of stuff.
Okay.
Under their umbrella. So you can see where this can go, right?
Yeah.
But what is exciting is triathlon have recognized fitness racing as under triathlon.
Interesting.
So you can see where this may lead to.
Right.
So,
okay.
Yeah.
So, and it's already solidified. It's going to be in 2028.
2028, OCR is definitely going to be in there. But as a piece of pentathlon used to be running, swimming, shooting, fencing, and horseback riding.
Yep.
And they dropped horseback riding and it's obstacle course racing instead now.
Right.
So that's the event. But like I said, there's the big picture is it will be there in the Olympics, and it's pretty exciting to watch this head-to-head racing where they go against each other. It's like closer to Ninja Warrior than the cross-country one.
Sure.
Very exciting for people to watch, and I think it will be a hit, and it'll get a lot of coverage, and you may see it spun off into its own discipline.
Right.
Under pentathlon is rebranding in the US or globally as multi-sport pentathlon.
Okay.
So now that umbrella term starts to get a little bigger, and we can see some other things. So exciting times from this end, from my side of the fence.
That's really cool. And the OCR race, it's for the Olympics, it has to be standardized.
Yep.
So they have all right, here's the standard set. Here's exactly what we're doing.
Exactly.
Okay, cool.
So that's and I think that's one of the exciting things about what we call cross-country OCR, like the Spartan style, was it was very different every time.
Sure, yeah.
The track OCR, which is the sprint disciplines, the 60 meter, the 100, the 400, has become standardized, so you can compare the courses.
Right.
And that standardization, I think, led to High Rocks and Deca being popular.
Oh, okay.
People, as much as they enjoyed the variation, they wanted to see a repeated effort, standardized course.
Sure.
And that's why I think these things have exploded the way they have.
That's super cool.
So a piece of it is that standardization, and that you can do the same thing again and know that it wasn't a different course, it wasn't a different weather. It was different. It wasn't different, and you did get better. So that's cool.
And just a quick follow-up question on that: do you have any athletes that are looking into the Olympics or obstacle course race? I know you had some people with you here last year.
Yeah, so it was. They've got a couple of guys. I was and a couple of years ago, I was the head coach for the USA OCR team.
Yeah.
And they just had their World Championships in Ireland last
cool.
week, and I've got the 400 meter coming up in Beijing in a couple of weeks.
Wow.
So I got one athlete there, but we've had about 3 kids from the USA OCR team move to pentathlon full time. They're training. They're in North Carolina at the training center. So there's a couple of guys out there who are teams yet to be named.
Sure,
right? We're still a little far. We're still a couple of years out.
Yeah.
They're in development because and I mean this respectfully to pentathlon, these guys are coming in as great runners with good obstacle course skills.
Sure.
If they can swim a bit, and one of the kids played underwater hockey, he can swim.
Okay.
So he's checking he just had to learn laser shooting and fencing. Right? He had 3 of the 5 he was world class at. So so they've been recruiting.
Yeah.
Like they've been recruiting from the technical limitations, right? So I mean, if you got a good swimmer who also fenced, you can fill in the boxes too, right?
There's probably not a ton of overlap there.
Yeah. So that's the thing. It's because it's kind of diverse. So if you've got 3 of them, you're going to be a contender.
That's
right?
pretty
So,
cool.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool. I'll be excited to, and I'm sure once that happens, 2028, that'll open up a whole new like opportunity for like a lot of eyes will be on that.
Yeah. I've said this that there's kids in mixed martial arts. Mixed martial arts started as who would win out of judo and kickboxing, right? Jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
And we've found that none of the above. You need to be well-rounded, right?
Sure.
We're seeing the first generation of obstacle course racers that were dominating were coming out of track and field. They were coming out of other sports.
Yeah.
Now you're seeing kids who the only sport they've played is ninja and OCR.
Right.
We have yet to see the best there is at this.
Right.
So we're seeing that starting to come through. And then I think when you see the people, when I say obstacle course racing, people think of the cross-country style. They don't think of the track sprints.
Sure.
So that exposure, I think, will blow it up.
Will be huge.
Yeah,
that'd be really cool. All right, last question. What do you love about Perform Better?
Man, I've been doing this with these guys for 24 years. I've been to at that point you stop being colleagues and you start becoming family.
Yeah.
But it goes right down to there's people who attend who've been coming this long, been open gyms that long, that I get excited to see every year. And I only met you guys like about a year ago. You guys are already in the inner circle now.
We are. Yeah.
Thank you. It's been a other than my wife and a few people back in Scotland where I'm originally from, I don't have many longer relationships in 20-something years, right? So
fair.
It's been around for a while, and I've been to 2 weddings amongst my colleagues, and unfortunately I've been to 1 funeral. That's how long we've all been together. So this is I put this on my Instagram this morning. Like, this is the best job in the world when you get these people coming out here. I mean, Providence Perform Better, man. What a city, what a crowd. It's always fantastic. It's always a good time. So
love it. Hey,
cheers.
I love that. Thank you so much for being on.
Thanks for having me back.
Yep.
See you next year.
See you next year, definitely. All right, how's the volume for you?
Volume's pretty good.
All right. What's going on, guys? Archer Matt here, host of the Roadie Strength Podcast here. We're here with Alex.
Yes, Alex Smith.
Alex Smith, you just completed the bike challenge.
Yes, I did.
And you are prior champion from Chicago for the bike challenge, and currently the champion for this year's too. So we're starting with that on your resume, but tell us a little bit about kind of who you are, what you do.
My name is Alex Smith. I am a trainer and coach out of Greenville, South Carolina.
Cool.
I have my master's degree in exercise science, and I've been coaching people for the last 15 years.
Wow. All right. So it's been a bit.
Been a while. It's been a while.
Do you have a specific niche or population that you serve with coaching?
I tend to serve older population.
Cool.
I specialize roughly about 40 plus. I tend to work with a lot of people who've had some health issues, some orthopedic issues, and maybe some other, like, I guess, chronic illnesses.
Sure.
So I work with a wide range of people, men and women. And even in our gym, we also work with a lot of 40 plus people from all across the board as well.
Gotcha. Okay, very cool. And what's the name of your gym?
One Gym Greenville.
One Gym Greenville. All right. And with the facility or the style of training that you do, are you guys like more of like a class base or one-on-one or?
We are exclusively one-on-one.
Okay.
And we really work on trying to have elite training.
Cool.
Like that. We also focus on nutrition and mindset, but we want to make sure that people are doing the right things to help them advance in their health and well-being.
Very cool. Okay. So like if I'm putting myself in the scenario, I'm a 45-year-old guy out in Greenville, South Carolina, and I want to get my fitness together. I want to get my life together. I'm giving you guys a call.
Yes, you're going to reach out definitely to us, and we'll come and give you a full intake, full assessment.
Cool.
And we'll work with you on developing a plan to kind of get you to where you want to be or how far along that line you want to be as well.
Gotcha. Okay, very cool. As far as specialty, do you guys have anything that really stands out that you guys do differently than maybe other gyms in the area?
We're really big on really getting to the details of like how people are moving, making sure people are moving well, make sure they have full strength and full range of motion.
Cool.
But we also want to make sure that is an environment that helps them feel safe and also make sure they're getting an effective program.
Very cool. Very cool. And like you said, you have your master's.
Yes, I do.
Which is, as far as like the personal training world, I think a lot of people are starting to get more professionalized with it, but you don't see it a lot. You don't see a lot. So tell me a little bit about that. Where'd you go to school, and what made you pursue that degree?
So I was a basketball player in college. I played at the College of William & Mary, where I got my undergraduate
cool.
degree in
Yeah, yeah.
kinesiology.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then I later went on to Augusta State University to get my master's degree in kinesiology. After which I had a short stint as a professional basketball player.
All right.
And then got into coaching. I started off coaching at the collegiate level as an assistant basketball coach, and I was put in charge of the redshirt freshmen for player development. And going through player development with the players, and like, you know what, I really enjoyed this aspect more so than the skills aspect.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. So you're like, all right, let's just get these guys, incoming freshmen, true freshmen,
right?
Often like, let's get these guys up to speed to compete with some of these other guys. What college were you coaching at?
And that was at Augusta State University.
Gotcha. Okay. So you're like, all right, some of these guys have been playing for a while, maybe more developed, skill wise, but also physique wise.
Right.
Let's get these guys caught up.
Let's get them in good condition so they can play 30 minutes a game and so forth.
Very cool. Okay, cool. And with your masters, did you have any sort of specific? I know kinesiology, but did you have any specific direction you took that in?
A little bit more so in like the education approach.
Yeah, yeah.
So I was a little bit more on the education side, but also did like research and supplements and everything, and mostly like vasodilators and everything like that.
Oh wow.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, very cool. And so where as far as your health and fitness journey, how did you what brought you from basically training elite basketball players and being an elite basketball player to working with some of these this 40+ population? 'Cause that's a jump.
That's a pretty big. It's a pretty big jump. So after working with athletes, I moved back home to Greenville.
Okay.
And I got into medical practices where I was helping with diabetes consultation, hypertension consultation, with nutrition. And now I was like, you know what? I can also write you exercise programs. So I started working with like cardiovascular rehabilitation to kind of help people who've had open heart surgeries.
Wow.
Helping them with diets and kind of like, hey, let's get you back going in the right direction. But writing a program and then also implementing a program, I realized that, hey, these people, I'm giving them a program to do, but they don't know exactly how to do the program. So then I would go with them to the gym and show them how to do the machines and exercise equipment. And then that started just keep building up. And then it just from word of mouth, it was like, hey, this guy can teach you how to do things. And it just kept going from there.
That's cool. Okay, so you work in like a cardiac, like if someone had a heart attack or a stroke or something like that, you're like, all right, we got to exercise is important for you, but we also have to be very careful.
Right. So
Yeah.
I was under physician supervision to kind of make sure we did them stress tests, see what their limits were, saying, hey, once they get up to about 115 beats, that's when it started getting a little awry. So it's like, okay, we need to develop a program and then gradually build them up over time.
Very cool. Okay, and so, which is a cool skill set for that, obviously that population. So you reached a point where you're like, all right, I'm working in this cardiac lab. Like I'm going to start my own gym and help these people kind of separate from this.
Right. Well, before I started my own gym, I went and worked for a sports performance clinic. And I was like, I really like being hands-on. And the first group is older population.
Fair enough.
Because all the other coaches is like, hey, you're the new guy. Here's all the older population. Have fun with that. And they just kind of
like,
I'll take care of them.
I'll make these people great.
Exactly, and that's exactly what we did. A lot of those same women I'm still working with today, and they've actually gone on to get state and national records in powerlifting.
Wow. Okay. And these people were coming to you as kind of Gen Pop or okay.
All Gen Pop. So a lot of them came. They were like, hey, I have one lady, Julie. Julie's awesome. She's about 4'9", maybe 100 pounds on a good day, and she was like, her main goal was to stay out of the nursing home.
Wow, I would say she achieved that.
Yeah, she's achieved that, and I'm blessed. She actually has the national record in the deadlift in her age and weight class. Yep.
Oh my God! So obviously, when she came to you, that's probably not what she put on her intake form.
Oh no, not at all. As a matter of fact, she was more. Her doctor had told her that she couldn't lift more than 10 pounds.
Okay. Well, is she due to some medical history?
I guess he was very timid due to some of her history. I can't go into her health.
Of course, yeah.
But she was like, hey, the doctor said I can't lift more than 10 pounds. And I was like, well, if your goal is to stay out of the nursing home, you got to lift more than 10 pounds.
Right. Can't have one without the other.
Right, exactly.
And so what's she lifting now?
She's currently lifting roughly about 155 to 160 at roughly about 99-pound body weight at 84 years of age.
84.
84.
All right. And over body weight. Deadlift?
Deadlift.
Deadlift.
Yep.
Okay. All right.
Yep.
Has she followed up with this doctor since then?
Well,
or is she seeing a new doctor? Maybe.
The joke is, after she got the national record, I was like, you need to take that medal and that record and go back to that doctor and show him that. And she looked at me and she said, I can't. And I was like, why not? And he's like, he passed away.
Wow. Okay. All right. Okay. So maybe sheesh. Okay. So he may have been a good client for you as well.
Right,
all right.
Exactly.
See, yeah, that's the tough part. I mean, it's you see. I mean, as a physical therapist myself, you see all the time about, like, obviously doctors are very well educated in many things, medicine and but maybe not always fitness.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And when it comes to who has the expertise in fitness, it's fitness professionals like yourself. So obviously doctors know a lot, but I think sometimes passing that baton and not trying to tell people often only lift 10 pounds instead of saying, all right, here's where you need to be at medically, but here's a fitness professional to help you get to reach your goals.
Right.
Might have been the best course of course of action.
Like a give or take, and I think we need
Right.
to work with them and
Yes.
be like, hey, you can rely on us, and we're going to rely on you.
Right.
As well, and
Collaboration.
We're also gonna help relay information, because a lot of them may not have the time to see their patients based on, I guess, insurance reasons or visit reasons, limitations. So
yeah,
sometimes they'll reach out to us and be like, hey, how are they doing with their training? How are they doing the nutrition? And I could give them a write-up and be like, yes, they're compliant.
Yeah.
They've been doing what they're supposed to, because we just are able to spend more time with our clients.
Very cool. All right. All right, so a couple wrap-up questions for you. So from thinking about this, maybe the past year, 2, 3, any big successes that you've celebrated, any big wins for you or your team or your gym?
Making it 6 years, I
Cool.
think that's a big win.
Yes.
We started during COVID, so we're happy to still be around. We have 2 great trainers. We have Teresa and CJ that we've added to our team, and they've
Cool.
been absolutely fantastic for us. So
Awesome.
those are big wins for us.
And then kind of a follow-up question, anything you're excited about in the next maybe year or so, things you guys are trying to accomplish or things that are coming up, events, anything like that?
Well, we were able to come as a team to Perform Better last year, and we
All
also
right.
came to Perform Better again this year.
All
we
right.
kind of want to make that a more annual thing that we do, because we just get so much from coming to these seminars, and we're able to take ideas from the presenters and kind of like, how can we use this to incorporate into our business and also help us grow as professionals.
Of course. Awesome. Oh, very cool. And my kind of, well, let me ask you, I meant to ask you this earlier. Where'd you play basketball?
I played basketball professionally or college?
You said William and Emery. Right?
College of William and Mary.
William and Mary, sorry.
Mm-hmm.
And then professional?
And then professional, I played in the G League out in Reno, Nevada, and then I played in Panama and then in Germany for a bit.
Okay, awesome. All right, final question for you. What do you love about Perform Better?
I love the emphasis on education.
Yeah.
Because, as we get better educated, we're able to serve our people better and put them in a better position to be successful.
Love it. Simple as that. Mm-hmm. Awesome. Hey, crushed it. Nice to meet you, man.
All right, pleasure to meet you.
And see you next year.
I'll see you next year, all right?
Every card is full.
So you got plenty. Let's do it. Is it okay if I got record a little bit of it?
Yeah, of course. Oh, do you have your phone with your phone? Yeah. Do you want to set it up? Yeah.
Is that okay?
Yeah, go for it. You got it, man. So these will take a little bit longer to post, so if you want to get one. Oh, do you think? Do you think? I can put one of those mics on too if you want. Do you have two of them? Yeah. Oh, that's the Hollyland ones. Those are nice.
Yeah. You know what? I think for whatever reason, like when I plugged the one that you had, recording through USB mic. Yeah. Oh, there it goes.
Oh, did the audio not come through?
And on the other video, I don't think it came through. Like,
Oh.
It was just from the phone.
Oh, I got you. Okay.
Yeah, it was just through the phone, but it's all good. It works. Because you can always clean up the audio.
Yeah, yeah. Out of storage?
Yeah, we grab my other phone.
All right.
So funny. People that hit me up online like, "Did you win?" That's hilarious. Like,
You got the top score right now, don't you?
Right now.
Yeah.
Let's keep it like that.
Yeah. 30.
We'll see.
39?
38.
38.
I get 39. I might just try to do the wall ball one. I feel like I can get 40.
Yeah, yeah.
On the wall, but you gotta like, the taller you are, you gotta like pull the wall.
You got to pull it down. You got to be faster than gravity.
Right. That's much better. Can you speak for a second? Check.
Yep. Testing.
Cool. Awesome. Thank you, man.
You got it.
That when it zooms out like that, it like loses quality in the camera.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's better. The light. Actually, the light's great. All right. Thank you.
You got it.
Thank you.
You got it, man. You fill up the whole storage. You get a lot of content this weekend.
Yeah, that was. I mean, it's a lot going on today.
Yeah, very, all right. What's going on, guys? Dr. Matt here, host of the Roadie Strength Podcast. Here, another guest today. So tell us a little bit about who you are, what you do.
My name is Devon Livingston. I'm the owner of Losing Tone Fitness, head coach, trainer. I like to motivate and work with clients who are beginners, busy professional, moms, dads that kind of like lost their way. And, maybe haven't been putting themselves first for a long time.
Sure.
And now they have the time and they're like, they want to get back to feeling more confident. So
Totally.
that's I'm on Instagram. I'm Mr. Make It Happen. So
All right.
I'm all about the motivation, empowerment, things like that.
I love that. That's awesome. And you're coming in from Queens?
Queens, New York.
Queens,
yeah.
New York.
Our
Awesome.
location's in Long Island.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And you're pretty good at wall balls today.
Nah,
You get a top score right now in our challenge.
Thank you. I appreciate the push. Thank you. That was fun. I love the push.
So tell us a little bit about. Well, tell me how you got into the fitness, into the gym, owning a gym in the first place.
Yeah. So I'm take you back to my beginning. I've been an athlete my entire life.
Cool.
Right, playing basketball, running track. Have always been in like great shape and always wanted to push myself. Even did like Marine Corps ROTC. At the same time, finishing up high school, I thought about like what I wanted to do and make the biggest impact on. And I went to school for exercise physiology, and also for physical education.
Cool.
But at the same time, I was learning about health and wellness and pushing my body. I saw people in my community, in my even my mom. My mom at her heaviest weight was 324 pounds.
Sure.
So here I am, like getting more information, getting stronger, and doing all the things in the gym, but still seeing other people that didn't have like resources or learning as much or knew as much about health and fitness.
Right.
Not doing very well. So like that was my push. And that was my that's my biggest inspiration.
Totally.
So yeah, I see my mom, I see my family and my clients. And that's really what got me started in doing exercise physiology. So like I said, I wanted to do something that was going to make an impact, but change people's lives.
Sure.
And saw that training was the way to go.
And now you're doing that.
Yeah. And I started with group classes in the beginning, and yeah, now we have semi-private, we have small group and large group classes in our facility now.
Awesome. And like you said, your kind of your population that you primarily work with is some of those like a little bit not older, but like older adults, a little bit. Yeah, middle-aged
adults.
That
they're
need
in
help.
their careers. Yeah, for sure. And I think the biggest thing is, as we get older, we get more responsibilities. I don't know if you have kids, but I've
just 5 weeks old right now.
Oh, congratulations!
Thank you.
Bro. But you know how it is. Like it, you know, everything you want to do, everything for your family, and make sure you're there and providing for them. So I think that is just shouldn't be a normal thing, like society to not put yourself first.
Sure.
But it happens. For people.
Yeah.
You know. So and we're there, you know, as a coach to, like, all right, it's okay to put yourself first and weave yourself into the you know, the life of your family as well, because you need to be the best you can be for everyone else.
And I know you said like and actually just a sidebar talking to John Graham earlier. He's doing a lot for I don't know if you saw any of his lectures, but he was doing a lot for like healthcare, like nurses, doctors, and they said nurses often are the most unhealthy people in the hospital, unfortunately, because they end up being highly trained providers at work, but also at home. They're also the primary provider. So like the very last thing they think about is themselves.
Right.
So I wanted to ask you, because you sound like you're doing something very similar as far as like, and you have the motivational aspect, the discipline aspect. So how do you find that you can help those people like flip that switch?
The first thing is helping them realize like you've done it before in other areas of your life, right? So I feel like, you know, T. Harv Eker has this book, Secrets of a Millionaire Mind, and one of the things he says is how you do anything is how you do everything.
Sure.
You know, so if you have the discipline in one area of your life, it's easy. It's transferable to other areas of your life. So it's like, what type of things do you do first? Like, so a lot of times people will tell me like, hey, I put, you know, doctor's appointments on calendars. I'm like, you need to put your workout on the calendar.
Yeah.
You know, very simple. Put it on a calendar. Like, make an appointment with yourself.
Yeah.
You know, have your clothes out the day or night before if you're doing early morning workouts. I'll get clients who will say like, the only time I have is really early in the morning. I'm like, but I'm not a morning person.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, all right, we'll come in the evening. I can't come in the evening because I got homework to do and I got to cook. And so I'm like, well, the only time you really have is the morning. So you got to become a morning person. But what are the steps you need to take?
Right.
The same ones you do on your job. Getting yourself ready, having organizational skills, having, you know, that extra discipline, that motivation. And really, I think the biggest thing for all of us is uncovering what I call it my non-negotiables, the unconditional reason why you want to do something. So if you can tap into that, then there'll be no reason why you can't make 2-3 workouts and meal prep and things like that, get to bed on time. If it means enough to you, you'll do it.
That's cool. And I love that, putting the clothes out, because like you saying that made me kind of like picture it in my head. I'm like, if I'm putting my clothes out the night before, I'm going to the gym.
Yeah.
When I wake up and see those clothes there, I'm like, I better put those on.
Yeah, and if you want to take it to the next level, like, listen, wear your gym clothes that you're gonna wear early in the morning as your pajamas. I can see that. Yeah.
If
you really need that next step and that next push, you know, after you go to the gym, you come back home and you shower, and it's like no one knows, whatever. But it's just the things that needs to be done, and I think that a lot of times people don't realize that, you know, whether you're just the first time on your career or you're even in like college or something like that, it is gonna be work in the beginning.
Right.
But over time, that work starts to pay off, and it becomes more of just your lifestyle and the thing that you do.
Right.
You know, I think over time that we just lose kind of that resilience, right? Like in the beginning, like pretty soon your child is going to start walking soon, right?
Yeah.
They're going to start taking steps. They're going to fall a whole lot of times. No kid ever says like, oh, you know what? I'm just going to crawl for the rest of my life.
That's a good point.
No one ever does that. We lose that resilience over time, man. So, you know, it's just like I was telling before I started doing the wall balls, I was telling the other gentleman here that was, you know, coaching us through it or whatever. I'm like, I've done a lot of hard things in my life. I'm like, this is 2 minutes.
Right.
And, you know, I hate to sound cliche or whatever, but I believe in motivation. I believe in, like, you know, the whole David Goggins thing. Whatever. It's like, involuntary suffering is going to happen. Like, there's going to be things, hard times that happen to us. So sometimes you got to put yourself into hard situations so you know that you have that grit and you have that resilience.
It puts in perspective. Yeah,
man.
You can zoom out and be like, this is only 2 minutes. Like, I can make it happen.
That's you know, that, and I think that's the biggest thing with all of us. I think we just need to realize and really tap into that.
I like the other thing you said too about like they're talking about like maybe moms or busy professionals, whatever. Like, you have discipline in other parts of your life.
Yeah.
You already have discipline.
Correct.
Don't think you're undisciplined. You have it.
Right.
It's transferable. Just take some of that and put it into fitness.
Yeah.
I like that you said that.
Yeah,
that was cool.
The same skills.
Yeah.
The same skills. So people are like, well, how do I start working out more? And I'm like, let's put 2 days on the schedule. And let's just start it.
That's it. Yeah.
And the other thing is that I think people feel like if I don't have an hour and a half to 2 hours to put it in the gym,
right.
20 or 30 minutes doesn't make a difference.
Sure.
But then to that I say, we all need money, right, to buy groceries and do things with.
Yeah.
So the finances, like once you put in a financial aspect, was like, would you rather save $0 or would you rather save 20? Like I'd
save 20.
Yeah, right.
Of course,
so
always.
Like, there you go. 20 minutes. That's your 20-minute deposit.
Yeah.
Into your fitness. And if you have more time, do more time. But if you don't, at least you did something. Something's always better than nothing.
100%. Next question for you. Anything? Remind me. So your gym's in Long Island.
Long Island, New York. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Anything you're excited with your gym coming up? Or let me ask you this first. Anything you're proud of with you or your team this past year or two with your gym? Yeah.
So we did, like I said, I have most of my clients are either mid-30s to my oldest client is actually 78.
Awesome.
But most of them are anywhere from like mid-30s to like late 50s who've never competed in anything in their life. So this year we just ran the New York City High Rocks.
Let's go.
We had over 30 members do it.
That's so cool.
And I want to say 25 of them never competed, never done anything this physical before. And so whether they did doubles or relay, they compete in that, So my whole thing is like tapping into people's non-negotiable and like just tapping into the reason why they got started in the first place. And sometimes you need that push. You need to be able to do something. So we have some 5Ks coming up and things like that. So I'm just always happy that our community in our gym is, if anybody's local and they're looking for a way to push themselves and get around some like-minded people, like that's what we believe in, like just pushing yourselves and holding yourself accountable. So like, those events, we love those.
Very cool. Awesome.
Yeah, man. Thanks.
Follow-up question to that is anything coming up, maybe events or any successes that you're predicting like in the next year or two that you're excited for?
So right now we're in the process of like hiring other coaches.
Cool.
So that's going to be good. It's going to be growing the program and things like that. We have, like I said, 5Ks on the schedule.
Yep.
And just happy to just bring in some new components, some new classes, new coaches, and keep things fresh and new. So
growth.
Yeah, growth, scaling. Yeah. So it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good for everybody.
Awesome.
Change is good.
And then last question I'll leave you with is what is your favorite thing about Perform Better, and more specifically the summit?
The summit.
Yeah.
The connection.
Yeah.
The connection. Definitely the learning from the coaches and from the other trainers, that these are people in the industry that actually are doing it and been doing it for years. They're experts. But I also really love the component of like meeting other like-minded people.
Totally.
Because a lot of times when whether you're a coach or you own your own business, you own your own gym and things like that, you feel isolated sometimes.
Right.
And if you don't get out and meet other people, you're like, man, I thought I was the only one going through that. It's just like any other area in life. So to be able to meet people from all walks of life, different parts of the industry, different modalities and things like that, and it's like we're all here learning together, and we can learn from each other.
We can,
and we can connect. So I love to be able to connect with everybody. So this is my favorite part of being here. Perform Better.
Very cool. Have you been to other summits in the past too?
Other Perform Better summits? Yes. One other. I did the Rhode Island one before.
Last year?
No, not last year. This is a couple years ago.
Cool. Awesome.
So,
all right. Very cool.
I'm looking forward to doing more, possibly even becoming a presenter. No,
hey, there we go. This is the resume right here.
There you go. But I love to be able to do that, to try the equipment out. But it's amazing community of people.
Love it. Awesome. Hey, thanks so much for being on, man.
I appreciate it.
It's a pleasure.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. All right, what's going on, guys? Dr. Matt here, host of the Roadie Strength Podcast. Here with Sarah. So tell us just a little bit about kind of elevator pitch, like who you are and what you do.
Oh, well, my name is Sarah Fisher Reynolds. I am a 24-year veteran of the fitness and wellness industry, gym owner in the suburbs of Chicago.
Cool.
And my specialty is as a master health coach, and I deal a lot with chronic stress and burnout.
Wow. Oh, that's much needed. All right. Very cool. And okay, so you're in Chicago. Do you say you have a gym out there?
Yeah, gym clinic.
Okay, gym clinic.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So what are the type of people like what your population that you're serving? Like if I'm out in Chicago and I'm having issues with like fitness or health, I'm giving you a call.
If you are an adult 40 and over that has pain, unresolved pain, you're pre or post surgical, or you just have issues that nobody has really seemed to put the finger on what's going on, we're your people.
Perfect. All right. So give me the backstory a little bit. How did that come to be? How did you get into that?
Well, I started out as a water aerobics instructor.
No way. All
yes,
right.
Yes. So for those elder millennial fitness people out there, many of us got our start in the group fitness sector,
Yep.
naturally evolved into the strength and conditioning sector, and then started adding skills. You know,
Cool.
started collecting certifications, if you will, became a nutritionist, and then took the certified pre and postnatal certification. So I wanted to learn about the
Cool.
stress of pregnancy and all of those things. And then I got into deep health and stress management and sleep and all of those other 23 hours of the day
Sure,
things.
sure.
That kind of led me down the path of letting my team take over all of the strength training portion. And now I exclusively coach the other stuff.
Cool.
Because
Okay.
it really is, I think, the game changer, and I think it's the what we're looking to see more of in this next generation of coaches are coaches that understand the whole human.
Right. So okay, you're getting your hour of training, you're getting your workout, and then like what's more? What else do I need? And you're kind of filling that void.
Yep.
Awesome.
Yep.
All right.
And not everybody's ready for that right away. So
Sure,
at our gym,
sure.
we make those health coaching services an adjunct. So
Sure.
while people seek us out for fitness,
Yeah.
eventually they come to find out that there's really more to it than just the sets and the reps, and they start diving into the gut health and the nervous system regulation and
Right.
all of those things that really help solidify the results that they're looking for.
Sure. Because I'm sure a lot of people, like, maybe they're in a rut or they're hitting a plateau. Like, I've been doing the fitness thing, I'm hitting my consistency. Like, why am I still not getting maybe the results that I'm looking for?
Yeah, the proverbial "I'm doing all the right things."
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of those out there, and even the people that are within our industry that we are coaches saying the same thing. I'm doing all the right things. Why
Yeah.
is my body not doing what I want it to do?
Right.
And oftentimes it's because it's stuck in this dysregulated pod
Right.
that we're just not giving it enough care and consideration.
Gotcha. Okay, very cool. And you presented this weekend?
I did.
Hey, awesome. What was your presentation on?
So true to myself.
All right.
chronic stress and burnout, and really breaking down the science of Dr. Christina Maslach's work and her latest book, The Burnout Challenge.
Okay.
Where she talks about the 6 elements of the workplace
Sure.
that allow us, that we have control over as coaches. And so for us, the workplace is the gym.
Yeah.
And for our clients, if they feel safe in that container, and we
okay.
can influence and impact these 6 dimensions, we're going to create a client base that sees us as their safe space.
Okay.
And when they see us as their safe space, that is going to very much solidify your membership base and keep people coming back, not just for months and months, but for years and years.
Very cool. Okay, awesome. And you said there's 6 pillars to that, or 6?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Could you describe them?
So we are going to want to give them impact or influence over the workload that they're experiencing while they're
Okay.
in the gym.
Okay.
We want
Okay.
to give them control.
Okay.
So a sense of control over the session itself.
Interesting. Yeah.
You know, sometimes we come in to our sessions as coaches with a little bit of a drill sergeant mentality of like, you're gonna do this program because it's the program, and you're gonna
I said so.
because I said so.
Yeah.
Versus
Right.
this idea of like getting curious about like, what does my client actually need today, and giving them back that sense of agency and control
okay.
of knowing that if I'm not having a good day, that I can go to my coach and be like, Coach, today's a 5 out of 10 day.
Right.
And coach knows that a 5 out of 10 day means that we're going to do this, plan B.
Yeah.
That's a big part of that equation, and arguably control is probably one of the most important. And then there's
Cool.
things like fairness. Like,
Sure.
are you treating all your clients the same? Because
Tough to do sometimes.
and not to fault, we all have
Sure.
a favorite client,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it can't be reflected outwardly in how you
Sure.
show up for that person. You
Sure.
have to be consistent, because again, it's all about creating the safe container. And if you have clients that see you are showing up early and staying late for Susie,
Yeah.
but you're not for Bob, that becomes
Right.
problematic.
Right. Yeah. They're like, why you love her, you hate me.
Yeah.
Fair. Yeah.
And then we have reward. So
Okay.
like our facility, we do member of the month.
Cool,
And we have
cool.
a literal crown and scepter that we give out
No.
to. And
Like,
again,
yeah.
like literal crown and scepter. And our core clientele is 55 plus.
Cool.
So you wouldn't think that a aging adult would like to wear a crown and scepter,
But-
they do. And so having things like that, having member appreciation events, like
Yes.
we have an omelet bar that we do.
Cool.
Yeah, our head coach happens to have a chef as a brother-in-law.
Sweet.
And his brother-in-law comes in, sets up shop, makes omelets for 4 hours. Our
Awesome.
clients love it. But like breaking bread and having strong community, which is another element.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
your community and your values.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's really the summation of it. Like
Love
it's,
it.
it's
Yeah.
simple. It's simple things that
Right.
when done consistently and done through the lens of your core value system,
Yeah.
you can't lose as a business.
Love that. So when applying those pillars, are you, and it could be both, are you speaking on as far as like trainers, coaches avoiding burnout for yourself, for your team?
It
or
has to start with you first.
Fair,
Right?
okay,
So
okay.
as a coach, if you're not showing the client what's possible
Yeah.
and you're painting them a picture of poor boundaries, being a yes man, saying yes when you want to say no, staying late when you should have gone home,
Okay, yeah.
prioritizing work when it should have been your family,
Yeah. Yeah.
your trick, that behaviors are caught,
Sure. Yeah.
right? Then taught.
Okay. Okay.
And
yeah.
we think it's the opposite. We think we're teaching them, we're showing them.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
So you can tell them all day that this squat is right, but if you keep showing them a crappy squat, they're gonna do.
Yeah. Right. You're fair. Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So it's just a matter of like we have to start with us
Yeah. Yeah.
as an industry. So for us to do better, and service providers, we are the core demographic of the people that get burnt out, the people that give.
Right. So that so their clients can obviously become burnt out, but we have to start with ourselves and make sure we don't get burnt out first.
You must.
Right. Because if we get burnt out, they may follow suit. It's like,
Exactly.
all right. Fair enough. Very cool. I mean, an important topic. So that's awesome that you were able to talk on that. As far as you yourself personally, your business, past year or two, anything that you've been excited about? Any big wins from you and your team?
We just finished a remodel of the front of the house.
All
at our gym.
right.
We transitioned what was formerly our front office area.
Okay.
Very traditional, check-in desk, all the things.
Yeah.
And as a small 4,000 square foot facility, we quickly realized that that's not how we were utilizing that space.
Interesting. Yeah.
And we turned it into a lounge,
Awesome.
communal
Love that.
linger space.
Yeah.
And again, another thing that I do think that for the people listening who own gyms, if you
Yeah.
are not looking at where your linger space is within your facility and how am I going to get people to hang around or
Yeah.
come in on their days off and
Yeah.
do things like study or homework or just shoot the breeze for a little while.
Shoot the breeze.
Come on.
Come on. Yeah.
We want that gym to be their for some people it's their third space.
Yeah.
For some people it's their second space because a lot of people now work from home.
Yeah.
So if we can give them that safe container again, they're going to
Yeah.
keep coming back over and over again. And if you can create a living room in your gym,
Yeah.
boom, done.
Yeah. That's always the coolest gyms where it's not like the clock in, clock out gym. It's always like, oh, I can chill and shoot the breeze for a little bit. I
Yep.
like that.
Yeah,
That's
so we
cool.
made a living
Yeah.
room in our gym.
I love that. That's great. And then kind of the other side of that question is anything in the next year or two, future casting, anything you guys are looking up forward to, events, things coming up, anything like that?
Continuing my speaking career.
Cool.
I have 2 little kids, so I am just now getting myself back out into the industry and
Cool.
being able to spread this message.
Yeah.
As I am also writing my first book on burnout.
All
so
right.
that's also on the docket. And my sister, who is a nurse practitioner, who also shared in a similar journey of burnout alongside me, we're writing
Sure.
that book together from
Sure.
from a perspective of a nurse and a health coach. So it's
Wow.
going to be a really interesting read.
Here's a separate question on that. As you or maybe your sister
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
As you're writing this book and as you're speaking on it, are you catching yourself in little habits? You're like, ooh, I probably shouldn't be doing that because that's going to contribute towards some burnout or like day-to-day
Absolutely.
type stuff. Like, yeah.
We'll use today as an example.
Yeah, fair.
In one of my slides, I talk about a habit that we sometimes unintentionally do that fans the fuels of chronic stress, and that's drinking coffee on an empty stomach.
Ah,
and I did that this morning.
Interesting.
And felt the effects while I was speaking.
No way.
Yeah.
Is why does it happen?
You know, you feel a little jittery, a little bit of that gnawing,
Okay.
raw stomach
Okay.
feeling.
Yeah.
It definitely adds to the dysregulation of your nervous system.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. All right, good. So that's great. Because I'm sure it's not a perfection version of avoiding burnout. It's more of like a sliding scale / like
Absolutely.
always a work in progress type of thing. Yeah.
I always tell people that stress isn't to be avoided; it's to be managed.
Sure. Cool.
It's to be managed because we need the sweet spot of stress.
Yes.
Not too much, not too little. We need that Goldilocks zone where it's just right.
Very cool.
And that's where flow state happens.
Yes. Okay. All right. All right. My final question for you: what do you love about Perform Better, or more specifically, the summit?
You know what I think I love most about the summit and the Perform Better family is the family.
Yeah.
And the fact that you know what you're walking into when you come to a Perform Better event, that you are going to feel welcomed, that you are going to feel educated, and you are going to feel also so fulfilled by the relationships that you were able to make and create throughout the weekend. The Q&A tables, the aside conversations, the short podcast episodes, it all really adds to the overall enrichment that these events give our industry.
Totally. Awesome. Hey, you crushed it. Very good. Good
Thank
to
you.
meet you, Sarah.
Likewise.
Thank you. Brody Spring signing off.